Welcome, everybody. Hello. How's it going?
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
We're here now, and we're just gonna kind of jump.
Joe
into it 'cause
Manganiello's here.
Stop it.
In our hearts.
I mean, at least digitally.
In our
There's
hearts
nothing
and
else
in
we
our
need to
minds.
say, right?
Officially
There's no
sponsored by Joe
other.
Manganiello. Weird.
Thank you for
such a
watching
daddy.
the Thanksgiving special last week.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. It was really funny.
Yeah.
Great.
Now we'll reference some of our cool inside jokes from it.
Yeah.
About them turkeys.
Great.
Yams everywhere. Yams as far as the eye can see.
No, Rick, that's a hamster.
No, Rick, no.
I was an otter.
The hamster.
I'm
bit.
an otter.
That hamster.
I'm not
And then when it was made into a turducken, that was nobody. Nobody saw
It got
that.
dark.
It was a Trojan
People in the
turducken. We snuck the chicken in the duck in the turkey. That's how we got it.
That's how
we got it.
It was a little
Brilliant
weird
role
off on a tangent
play.
about mouse-rat race relations, though. That was,
Yeah. That was a little
that made me
strange.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They started talking about mouse Israel.
I'm sorry, that one got me.
Mouse Israel.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Mouse
I don't know why.
You didn't say mouse
Sponsored by
reel.
Israel.
That's my favorite part. Is
Sponsored
mouse
by
Israel.
It's
not
like
mouse
going
reel.
to.
It's like
Which I'll be going to next year.
It's like when you're doing something in space. You have to replace just
Which
like
I'm
all
not actually
contemporary
joking.
things
With space.
with like
star.
space.
Space
yeah.
reel?
Yeah.
Space.
If we were doing sci-fi one.
Hi, I'm
It's
a
just like-
space actor.
Just like, oh, we're going to
Yes. Oh, that's my
Just like,
goal.
oh, we're going to Space Woodstock. Like, stuff like that.
I wanted-
Just, like, throw it
I
in front
wanted
of
to
There
be
is
part
such
of
a
that,
thing
like-
as space lawyers, though.
Hey, do you
There's
guys
real
think there's
things
a
that
space
exist.
Boston market?
Yes, 100%.
You could be a space
But I
lawyer.
think
It's
we should
about
go to
space
Earth.
trash.
Boston Market before you go to Space Boston Market.
Nope.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not ready
Sponsored
for
by
space
Boston
Boston Market.
Until
So
you've had
I
Earth
wasn't
cornbread.
here last week. What's our two sentence thingy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
I know
going to
last
be
week.
safe for him to know.
Yeah, it's gonna be safe.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Should I do the
Our
small child ears?
Well, actually,
Our
Our
adventures
lovely
do.
Mountain
last week
Dews
will be-
return from leaving the city. And that is where we open.
Great, cool.
There you go. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as I recall, you said there were still a lot of guards, and I wrote in
Correct.
big capital letters that I would like to ask the guards a question. So that's what I would like to find the guard closest to me. Kidding. I would just like to walk up to one of the guards, please.
Okay.
And,
What's the question you want to ask?
yes, that's actually what I was about to do in my character voice.
Have you heard of the Boston Market?
I was about to do it in my character voice.
That
Like
way.
how Don't
Towards the
play.
nearest Boston.
Well, I do declare, let me get into my character voice.
I'd
It's
like,
like Ellie. It sounds a little different today.
I'd like to
I
buy
love
some
it.
Bostons.
I
I
love
love
it.
them by
Point me to the Boston Market.
your finest Boston barkeep.
Oh, jeez.
Market keep.
Excuse me, could you tell me why there's so many of you outside? We were told this was only for the festival, but that's over. So, yeah. What's going on?
Maybe the party's still going.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Why the fuck are you here?
Yeah, random person just comes up and is like, answer to me.
How do they
Hey,
how do they not already know who we are though?
to me.
we've literally been doing their job for the last week
16.
and a half.
Seriously.
16.
Yeah. What a
He
good
knocked
roll
out
for that
one.
first roll. Good job.
We almost killed that one guy.
So, the guard looks to you, and it's one of the two on the ground, and kind of,
Looks at a snake person.
Wait, are you the one that knocked me out?
Did you karate chop me to the neck? No, that was me.
It's actually the same guy.
He's like,
Vulture death threat.
we're here under Daphne's orders. This is the city guard. We guard the city. What does it matter to you how many of us there are?
Because this isn't a normal number, and I would like to know if something's going on
Maybe it's
in the
normal
city.
now.
I mean, you are correct. Maybe it is normal now. I was just curious. But
Who are
I guess
you?
I'm Svetlana.
What's your business here?
Oh, well, me and Daphne are kind of like best friends. We all are actually with Daphne. She knows us. We're the Mountain Dews. And I just kind of wanted to know, because the last time we spoke to her, she just said it was for the festival.
I thought I was Daphne's best friend.
You are.
This is the most
Liam's just like quietly
is-
in the background.
this is the most suspicious possible way to engage this
This is
conversation.
the worst way to talk to the police. Straightforward
But
and demanding.
he looks at you. I mean, Barrow, do you know the Mountain Dews? He looks at the guy next to him. He's like, no.
Oh,
That's
they
fine.
didn't see our performance.
They didn't. That's
a
okay.
bummer.
He's like,
We're missing our front man.
That's true. We need him. He's kind of the do to our do.
and they kind of like look you over.
I
And he's
know,
just
I'm
like
sorry.
one of the guys from one of the little parapets outside. They're just like, yeah, no, they come in and out of here. They come in and out. I've seen him a couple of times. They're good. They're fine.
What kind of pets are they?
A pair of pets.
Yeah, I got it.
Can I have
That's
them?
I don't know if you know this.
Can I have
I don't know if you know
Can I
this, but I've
have
known
them?
Chris for about 11 years.
It's always the Kiwis that are like the best guards.
They are. We have good luck with Kiwi guards.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Kiwi guards are all like super friendly.
Might be
Kiwi
the
guards
same
are
guy.
best.
Might be the same.
Maybe the same guy. He's already
Kiwi
back.
guards are life.
Kiwi guards are life. Kiwi for life.
So
Maybe that's
the two on the
best
ground,
Kiwis.
like after hearing that, look to you all, still look at you very suspiciously, but like move to the side to kind of like let you guys in. But it's just one of those things where they don't.
Answer.
You feel their eyes on you all as you guys keep moving.
We'll give autographs later.
I'm used to it.
Have a great day. I'll probably just go
I'll
talk
yell.
to Daphne, but
I'll
thank you
yell.
for your help.
Yeah.
I just
And I wave.
again, whenever I'm writing Flanagan, I just picture it the scene from Shrek 2 where Shrek and Donkey are transformed and he's just like trotting through far away, and everybody's just like swooning over him with his huge pudge nose. And is that ladies? When Shrek turns human, is he attractive?
Oh yeah,
That is attractive.
He's a daddy.
Okay.
I can't
Is it because his
remember.
hands are big enough to like?
hold you. Yeah.
All right.
To hold you tight? To never let you go?
I was just gonna
Can
stop
I
it there.
briefly ask you what this motion is?
Holding.
So Max was watching a Tony Robbins seminar.
Strangling? Sorry.
Max was watching a Tony Robbins seminar, and it was some of the worst shit I've ever heard. It was just like, you are worse for being a woman, and you need to find the power in that. Like for an hour and a half, and it was just like, this is awful. And he's like, yeah, but his hands are just so big.
Like,
So it's a thing.
I don't know what this gesture is still.
That looks like strangling
It's a choking
to me.
thing, I assume.
I assume.
I haven't had many
I would like-
men lay hands on me outside of pushing me into lockers, so
So you should know what this is then.
it's not that sexy.
Getting pushed
Not
into
to you.
lockers.
I'm a claustrophobe, not a claustrophile.
Yeah, human
This
Shrek
is an
is
episode
a
of my
And I'm gonna
City.
claustrophile that one under.
Yeah, he's a
good
daddy.
joke.
Human Shrek's a little daddy?
His neck is very thick.
It's really thick.
It's hard to choke.
So he could
Hard
not get his
to
hands around his own neck.
He's kind of got like a more suave Fred
Shrek
Flintstone
shows up out of
than
nowhere.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got like a.
It's just his
He's
body.
got a
is
Dorito
so
chip
big.
body.
Yeah.
He does.
He's
Is that
like
triangular, you mean?
he skipped
No,
like
Dorito
he
chip.
skipped leg
So is
day.
it-
Well, sometimes they're
So it's
like wish chips.
So is this
He's-
a dad bod or is he just built?
Built.
This is how I want
You
to
just
start the
built?
game.
I think it's like thick fit.
So I'm asking the guard all of this.
You've seen Shrek.
I would say
You've all
that's
seen-
it.
you know that scene in Shrek 2?
He turns into a human?
It's a desert movie that I
They
pulled
just
out of
look
my
at you
backpack.
blankly.
It's a desert movie I pulled out of my backpack.
It's
I want to go to the
the
desert.
most acclaimed desert playwright.
They just look at you blankly, and you get to
DreamWorks.
walk away saying, "Whatever, boomer."
Okay, boomer.
Relevancy, guys. We're relevant
So
now.
are we
we go.
going anywhere?
Don't
Or are we
forget to
still
dab.
just bothering
I
the
don't
guard?
know. Where are you going?
I'm gonna tap dance through the gate and go towards the...
I wave as I walk through. I personally would like to go ask Daphne, but also we should probably go to the house because
We should go
Liam's
ask
probably
I'm
home.
gonna disappear.
Yeah, let's
like
pick
far
up-
I mean, I
Look at
hope so.
Liam.
We didn't leave. He didn't leave.
Also,
Yeah.
shouldn't
Shouldn't
have
have
into the wind.
So we should
Just
probably go
make
home
sure it's
first.
to your other side this time.
You don't want to.
just like...
So we're going to Daphne's. We're going to the.
Home.
I'd like to go
Let's-
home.
Let's swing
We're
past
going to the
yeah,
apartment,
let's swing
yeah.
past the house.
Let's swing past that.
Guys,
It's a nice
calm
apartment.
down.
I know,
Let's
we're
go
like
home.
fucking
There's
wired
there's a
today.
there's a high energy to this today.
I
good.
am
Love it.
completely sober.
This is what the people
No
want.
medication.
Same.
So I'm just. The last 2
That-
weeks I've been a little
That
loopy.
definitely.
Same, I'm totally fine.
All
Not
right.
medicated
So
at
what
all.
are we? Where are we going? Are we
Home.
going to the
We're
mansion
going home.
first? Or are we going?
We're
to...
going
We're going home to a
whoa,
place where we
whoa.
belong. Oh,
I
that's
want to
a
go
beautiful
home.
song. I wanna go. Oh,
So
see.
while we're going home, We walk
Where's
home.
It's
Bye.
Texas. We make peas
I
in a
open
can
the door
pie.
and I go, Liam, are you home?
There's no way I hear
Yeah.
that. There's no way I hear that.
I mean, you're
Library.
at this.
Library or workshop?
I'm trying to think about what
I'm
I'm
loud.
trying to remember what time of day it is. It's
He's listening to a podcast.
evening instead. It's like
It's almost
5
no,
PM.
it's just after Thanksgiving, so I've already done my podcast.
It's
on
just-
Thanksgiving.
It's
tradition.
just
Oh, good.
it's just 5 p.m. Sestead, so technically 5 a.m. Mansion side.
Oh, he's probably asleep.
You probably would have still kept on Sestead time.
Son?
Sure.
I just mean to say that it's like
I feel like my sleep
There's
schedule's
definitely
probably
something
no
wrong with us
horrifying
kids.
nightmare.
Sorry.
At this
Yeah.
point, I'm
Yes.
I mean, let's check.
you're doing like a
No,
bad
yeah, I'm wide
Just
awake.
run home.
You're like doing a
Yeah,
Batman
Manila.
thing of just
Yeah.
you sleep 3 hours and whatever.
Liam.
No,
That's what
And it's
I-
in the
shirt
library. Like
to
I'm
go.
just
I like
asleep,
it
like
too.
on the book, and then
Okay.
I wake up and I'm
right now.
okay.
Back at it.
So yeah, you certainly do not hear anything as you're doing. You don't hear a response.
Intimidation check to release a shout that shakes the halls.
While they're doing that, I'm just gonna go to the mirror and like,
Okay. So, Lolly, as you leaning into the door, Nameless walks past you and goes to the mirror right by the stairs.
Oh, duh, I should have just done that.
hey yo, Liam,
Then it
dum dum diem.
We'd like to see him.
We'd like to see him.
It's
Man,
with
man.
the dum dum diem, it slowly fades
Dum dum
into
diem.
it. It's like one of those like, oh man, my connection must be pretty bad.
That's a song lyric.
I guess Freddie Mercury built this mirror.
It is. Bum bum. What is the song? Bum bum. I'm gonna figure it
Well,
out later.
Lizzo does. Well,
Thank you.
Bum bum.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, you gave me 2 notes and then we're like,
I bum bum biem is a lyric.
Bum, bum, bae. That's how she finishes.
okay,
Bum,
so
bum,
what do you say to Liam?
You were there, you know.
Do I see him? What is he doing?
He seems to be reading a bunch of books. He is sort of like, he's still got his bandage on. He's still, but he's just overlooking everything, and he seems sort of worn. Maybe he hasn't slept very well over the past 2 days that you guys have been gone.
He could have used my pillows.
Hi Liam, we're home.
And you see Nameless's bust torso.
Exclusively?
Right. How was it?
I met the love of my life, but that's okay. He also might be my dad. But I have a present for you.
No, that'll tracks. Sure. I'm in the library.
I thought I took
I said we have a present.
Oh,
Right,
I
library
have
or
a
workshop? Library.
I would say library. I mean, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
That's
And that's also
incredible.
what you're.
That is absolutely
I feel like
incredible.
at this moment, what you are hunting for is much more a research-driven thing
Yeah.
than a
I don't have anything to
tinkering
tinker with
thing.
yet.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to
Yeah.
tinker with yet. I'm in the library.
Do you care if we come to you, or would you like to come to us?
Oh, that's fine. You guys can come here if you want. It's a good place.
Let's go.
Oh, okay.
So I can't see
Well,
that.
we'll see you in a second then. Bye. Goodbye.
All right. Yeah. See you soon.
So rude. Let's go.
Guys, wait, did you hang up the mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has
As the willing
I do.
like
I'm gonna get
person
on my
who
knees.
casts it is done with it.
Liam.
I didn't know any other way to say did you hang up the
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Did
I-
you wipe the
I had
Did
mirror?
you click it? Did you
Push
click
the
little
button.
I have the
Can
thing.
you hang up
Don't
the mirror?
worry.
I'm trying to use the
Yeah, I'm trying to use the computer.
just millennial things.
So
Okay, millennial.
you go through the who's going upstairs? Who else
I
is
would like to.
joining?
I would like to go.
I go with them.
Okay.
My axe.
And my ass.
Oh boy.
God, you guys get to the research laboratory.
Go to the research
The
laboratory.
library.
The library.
Either way.
Libratory.
The libratory.
Love
There
it.
you go. Libratory retriever.
So,
Really
you come up the spiral staircase into the room, and Liam is there. He's got about 8 books next to him, all kind of leafed and marked in certain places, but there's one that he's kind of currently reading. You see a plate of half-eaten food, and a blanket, a very light blanket thrown to the side. Seems like he's kind of been sleeping here.
Hey, buddy. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. We delivered some drugs. How's it going with you?
That's good. Were they good drugs?
They were positive drugs.
That's good. I'm alright, just reading.
We got you a little something.
Some food I haven't eaten in a while.
There's half-eaten food there.
Right.
I mean, I can also. Spaghetti takes like 5 minutes, so.
True. Oh my god.
Don't know if it's a great mix with the books though.
Spaghetti. Do you
Oh
eat
yeah, don't
sauce?
eat the books.
Learned that one the hard way.
I tried to absorb information through my lower intestine.
Well, you know what they say: in one ear and out the other. Except in this case, it's well.
Awesome.
It's not really.
And it's incredible.
We got you something.
In our travels. Just
Right.
So they hand you a like
That was magical.
it's like it's a very simple gold band signet ring, but in the signet area, instead of any sort of seal or anything, there is a clear stone, but with a clouded gray color in the middle of it. And it seems, with your studying that you've been doing the past 2 days, and especially after like discussing stuff with Nerith and kind of being in that shop, you can tell it's a lodestone.
All right.
It's small. It's just, it's not that large.
Gray,
of a
what
ring.
School of Magic.
Again, because of your research, I'll say that you've kind of been taking these notes. Divination.
Divination. Interesting.
Did you know it's a lodestone in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, it helped.
for divination. Where did you find this?
We got it.
We went to Nerith.
By the way,
Oh.
it's on your character sheet.
Oh,
I put it up. I
give
wasn't
it
sure.
to you.
I wasn't sure who actually had it
I think
originally,
she-
so I
we
just
said she-
I gave it
I'll
to
remove it.
someone.
Then.
We were thinking that you were a little focused on your books, so we were
right.
thinking that maybe this could help. It's a ring that helps reveal hidden things,
All right.
like through
Okay.
walls and shit.
Okay.
You have to wear it though.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
And
sense.
you only get to use it once a day.
Unfortunately, sorry, we didn't have enough gold for a good one.
It's all right. I appreciate it a lot. Hidden things.
Mhm.
Okay.
There are things you can't see, yeah. Oh.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we didn't want to make like a light of it, but we thought maybe it'll boost some.
Starts with a T, by the way.
Yeah, do I should I keep it there so you can give it to him or
No, you should be able to give it to him. I think. I think that's part of it. I think so. Oh no, I thought it was okay. Then I have to give it to him.
Okay, so I'll leave it there for you, but I
We
don't
can ask
have it
X.
marked as active, so
What's that?
We can ask X
He's gonna
to
give it
give
to
it to
you.
him.
Yeah.
What?
I think this could help. I appreciate this a lot, you guys.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
but if anyone asks it's your birthday because we didn't want to tell them.
Yeah, we had to lie to Nerith. So Nerith thinks it's your birthday.
I appreciate that as well. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you really bought it. We weren't really convincing,
No,
if
we're,
you can believe that.
Shocked. Shocked I am.
we're bad liars.
Which surprises me because we have really good social skills.
I know, I don't understand.
I know.
I made
Everybody loves us.
Truly social butterflies.
Okay.
no one
you're
finds us
sending
annoying
this
or
my way?
strange.
Okay.
But what are you doing over there with all your books and half-eaten food?
Just research. I have a couple of, just have a couple ideas that I'd like to see if they'd pan out and how they would pan out. I'm almost done with the research I need to do, and I'm going to need to go out and find things. So this might help with that, I'm thinking, which would be nice.
What things do you have to find?
It's in your inventory now, by the way.
A lot of things. I don't know. I need a lot of pieces to see if any of this will work, and I don't really want to talk about it until I know if it'll work.
Totally. Well, if you need help shopping or swiping or
Finding.
acquiring,
I appreciate it.
yeah.
I should stand up. I get up and stretch because it's been a while.
There's a moment where you kind of do that like head rush thing, and you're able to like kind of catch yourself. But yeah, you're up.
If you're feeling like going outside, maybe getting a little fresh air, we were gonna go visit Daphne and be like, what the fuck, all these guards?
She's still like Barbara
I don't know.
Streisand. The gods.
The guy.
I don't know. I do want some fresh air. I was thinking about heading out to the I don't know.
The garden?
Yeah.
Oh, did you know we have a garden now?
Yeah, we made a garden.
Wait, I thought you were just talking about the patio. We have a garden.
We
now?
made a
No,
garden
it's a
on the
legit
patio.
garden.
Dude, there's a real garden now.
We planted shit.
All right.
The kobolds help.
Yeah, they needed fertilization.
Okay.
Bless those kobolds.
They're still alive. Don't worry.
The kobolds and the
I didn't
plants.
even think about that kind of fertilizer. Jesus. So dark.
I know what you're talking about.
What you're talking about. I'm sunshine and lollipops.
Where do you have to go to
I have to
find-
attune to this. Yes. That'll take how long?
A short rest.
Okay. I think I'll stay here while you guys go see Daphne. I'm gonna start
Oh yeah, I mean like
attuning to this ring.
I
I
would
don't want to
call.
go into the city anyway.
Great.
This isn't
all I was gonna say was that like you could attune to it while going to do something light.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's fine.
Just so you know.
I'll do some. I'm just gonna get used to this for a bit. But I'll meet up with you guys when you get back.
Totally.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just as a note, as you guys kind of walked through the house, and as you guys sort of stood in the laboratory and are talking to Liam, once you guys stop moving and you guys actually like start just like talking, there's just this very faint
Oh, we're moving.
and like there are windows in the laboratory, like on the. I just like saying it. It's fun.
I love that that's the name.
On the like the west and east sides of the shelves, kind of like above that, and so you can kind of see just above, like just like the faintest hint of movement. You and Yvonne, over the 2 days that you were sort of researching, she kind of has left you alone a little bit, but there was a moment where she asked you how to get into the engine room.
Okay.
And so you went ahead and showed her that, and she told you that she's basically just trying to make sure that she's gonna move the house, and she was basically wanted to know how to do that. So you showed her the process of doing that, in what you knew, and then kind of went back up to your own research. And so she spent the past day and a half. You also haven't seen her. Like, you haven't been paying attention, but like you haven't seen her either since then. But anyway, that's you do feel as though the house, you hear a faint sound of like what you guys remember from the previous time you guys have had it moved outside of you.
Yeah, Click Whistle was pressed against the window, like, what?
It's like above the bookshelves though, so it's like it's one of those like tiny.
I can get there.
You can totally get. I'm just saying, like it's a tiny window. It's one of those like rectangular.
That's okay. I'll like lay on top of the bookshelf and just like watch it.
Like the kind of window that prisoners are allowed to have.
Right. Fair enough. I'll lay on top and watch it. This is crazy, you guys. Are we walking?
Yeah.
The house has legs.
The house has legs.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sick. Where are we going? Did Yvonne ever say where she's gonna move the house to?
She just asked me how to do it. She just wanted to know how.
Huh.
So I guess she's taking her first ride.
She mentioned that there was, it must be moved very soon. And I don't know if there, is there like a thing that's after us? Or why do we have to move the house so urgently?
We just don't want somebody to find it, I think.
Okay.
Because we left it in a kind of weird place.
Yeah.
The mountainside.
True. I guess that would be. But it's only
Before you head out, Philip, I might need your help with something later. So if you have time later, come see me, okay?
I have time all the time.
Right.
Do you need my help? I want to help.
That's fair. I
I don't have to help though.
No, I don't think it would hurt. I think I need I need Philip specifically.
Oh,
I don't want
okay.
to take away time from anyone else. If you have something to do, if you don't, then more people probably wouldn't hurt. But I don't want to interrupt whatever you guys are up to with what I'm trying to work on.
Sure.
I mean, I just was offering help. You don't have to take my help. I just feel like I should help.
I appreciate you.
Thanks.
Well, if you want us to go talk to Daphne and you stay here and help him,
I'll do whatever, man. Bird,
dope.
you're the man now, Bird.
I've always been the man. I get down from off the top of the bookshelf. That was from the top of the bookshelf.
Sure. Well,
I climbed down.
Well, when do you need to do it?
There's not really a timeline on it. Just at some point.
Okay. Well, what do we need to ask Daphne about? Should I?
Just
go
about
there?
the guards. We were just wondering if there's any, looming threats. I'm sure she's gonna be like, no, not at all. I'm just really busy, and then just send us on our way.
Can we just use the house phone? Mirror?
Yeah,
Oh.
I guess.
Oh, can we call people outside the house on the house phone?
Mirror. House mirror.
House mirror? House mirror?
Yeah.
You just have to make a rhyme.
Just make sure you dial collect.
Colette?
It gets real expensive.
Make sure you dial
I
Colette.
know, I was just like, wait, we can't dial Colette.
Wait.
He'll
You
kill
didn't
us.
try!
Wait, yeah, we haven't tried.
If we
I
dial
don't
Colette,
want to
Colette
talk
will
to them.
dial us.
We
No.
dialed
Yes.
Yeah, that
That's
sounds like a bad
that's
idea.
the door I don't want to open.
Yeah,
We
no.
never even thought
Not
about
to our
that.
special,
I think we
special
did.
manor house.
Actually.
You did what?
Tried to call the Horus.
No, you guys tried to call Gornal. Is what you're talking about, the dwarf?
That's what I meant, yep.
Yeah, Gornal.
Galgado.
Yes, you did try. You did attempt to call Gornal, and it was static. There was no.
No, sorry, nothing.
That's because of the tower. That's because he's dead.
He's not dead.
He can't be dead. He can't be dead yet.
I just feel like if we're gonna just ask a question and then be told
We'll
no.
go on our way. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Let's
that
try the
works.
mirror. I wouldn't mind doing that at all.
Great. So I'll go downstairs to the mirror.
I'm gonna come with you.
Well, she'll only be able to see and hear. She'll only be able to see and hear one of us.
Philip, my God.
She'll only be able to see and hear one of us, though.
But maybe if we sing it
So
in
which
threes,
one?
like the power of three, we can all be seen.
If all of us just say it at the same time?
You
Yeah.
know,
Maybe.
you're three. Do you know how to count that many?
Yeah?
You're helping this guy.
Oh, well, if we're doing it on the
House phone.
mirror, then
We could all do it.
it's not far.
Oh yeah, it's cool. You can just do
Even-
everything. I love it. Let's go.
Even if she only sees one of us, we should witness. All right, let's go to the mirror.
Whoever wants to go to the mirror is going to the mirror.
Whew! Salali is uncomfortable. Jackie's hysterical.
Yeah.
Salali's like, she walks to that mirror so quick. She
Quick whistle
jumps.
is out.
She's proficient in acrobatics. She flips down those stairs. She's doing backflips
Okay.
and
I'm
everything.
just gonna, and I just go with her.
Okay.
Just completely goes over my head.
That's not great. I'm
She's
just
like,
gonna
okay.
grumble the entire time.
Okay, I can do everything.
Count.
All right, cool.
Panther is kind of like
What the
Bro.
fuck? Party foul.
you just feel him like
I just wanted to help, and he doesn't even want my help, and he's probably mad at me now, so it's cool. Let's just go. That's Panther.
yes.
Did she say that in cat, or did we all?
She said it in Pantherese.
Yeah. Meow.
Wow.
Meow.
Okay, so
We're
what
talking like Panther. It's basically just normal, but then you just choke at the end. That's a football joke. It's all good.
Oh,
All right.
I thought that was a
wrong
big
audience.
hands.
Wrong audience.
So dumb. Then they choke at the end.
Got him. Fuck.
I Everybody needs a moment.
I delivered it specifically to Miles,
Drag him.
I don't.
the amount of guards
but we
is
have
worrying
mutual
me.
friends who are Panthers.
Can
Sorry,
we see
It's true.
Daphne?
It's true.
That's what I think we should.
On the power of three, we should hold hands. I guess the power of four.
Hold on. What are we supposed to say?
I don't know. You came up with it.
Yeah. So why don't we say The amount of guards is worrying me. Can we speak to Daphne?
But should we say we? It's more than
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
worrying we.
Yeah.
It's very.
I've had one of those before.
It's very witchy to look around, isn't it? It was purple for some reason. Like Jesus.
Yeah, that works. We could say we.
Yeah.
All right.
The amount
Oh,
of guards is worrying me. Can we speak to Daphne?
I don't think I got any of those words right, but we're gonna see. You can't see click whistle.
It sounded like a kindergarten like choir recital where they're doing like the Christmas thing where they're trying to like recite like, and then the wise man came.
Yeah.
Just like.
Or like any of their songs where like 3 kids maybe know it, and then, like the rest are like.
I don't know.
Daphne!
I don't know that life. I knew every word to every song.
You were the 3 kid.
I was.
Yeah, you were the 3 kid.
I was the soloist.
Did it work?
Philip, Click Whistle, and Nameless. The mirror remains clouded. And Setlali, you do see a slow transition into seeing Daphne working. No, it's 5 a.m. She's asleep.
Oh no, it's 5
No, I thought it was 5
No,
p.m.
it's 5
Oh, it's
p.m.
5
no, it's
p.m.
5
Right.
a.m.
Because we
That's
just went.
That's correct.
Because we just
she
went
is working.
joyriding through the
Yeah.
gate.
She is working. Thank you guys for helping me remember
Time zones?
differences.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Oh shoot!
But she's
It's
at her
fall,
desk.
right? Is daylight savings time like over?
Do they have?
There is no daylight savings time.
What are you talking about? Why wouldn't
It
they
is
have this?
unnecessary.
You're
This
not a-
world exists without it.
Th- That I don't understand how a society could possibly function without fucking. over
But you
time.
understand the fact that there's a
Twice
house
a year.
that has 2 different parts of the world?
Excuse me, Daphne. Hi, I know you're working. It's
It's
me.
not serious.
It's your girl.
It's your girl,
Set
Set
Lolly.
Lolly.
What's up? It's your girl, your boy.
It's your boy, the Mountain Dews.
And so she's sitting at her desk working though, and you.
Surprise, bitch.
Hi.
I'm in your house.
I'm Ghost Lolly.
I see that you're very busy, but we just got back from a trip, and I saw, as we were leaving and when we got back, that there were still a lot of guards outside, and I was just wondering if something was wrong and if there was something we could do to help, because it just seems like there's a lot of extra people out. How's your day going?
First of all,
Ask her if she's seen Shrek too.
Do you think Human Shrek is daddy, Daphne? Sorry. Legit question.
hello. Second, you're reminding me that I have to buff up my security.
I'm not even there.
I know. That's my point.
I'm magic.
And, and lastly, we had an assassination attempt. We had the Zealots of the Veil.
Oh wait.
We have
Something that already happened.
we have
The assassination.
potentially a whole underground thieves guild still in my city. And after the Luminescent Festival, it seemed prudent to keep the number of guards up. Especially with the new information that you just told me about the plague marshes. I could relieve some of those men of their duty. Now, they haven't returned fully, but I certainly requested a few more garrison troops in the into stead. Any more than that, I can't tell you, because that would breach the council. I like you all. You do this shit again. This
Well,
magic thing.
we just thought it was easier than barging into your office.
Barge into my office.
Oh,
The next
Always
time.
the
okay, can I get that in writing? You can't do it through the mirror, but next time when I come, I'll pick it up from you.
When I barge.
We're not doing it in writing. You're doing it, or we're not going to talk anymore.
Yes, ma'am. You got it. Thank you so much.
Again, I like you, but don't confuse us. I am still the head of security for the entire city. If I find you a threat, I have to act. This is not very friendly.
Okay. Sorry.
Do you understand? I could have been talking to someone. It seems like you do now. Thank you for your information. Thank you for your worry. But the state is fine.
Okay.
I hope your trip was fine. And, give my best to your, I heard what happened at the joust, and let's just wish him well.
I will. Sorry. And thank you.
Hey, children.
Okay, Boomer.
I forgot my own assassination attempt. I was the person who was doing the
That's what was
assassination
happening.
attempt.
She was like, assassination? She's like, oh, is that like recent? It happened like a long time ago, and I just kept staring at her.
It's
I
like,
was like,
you, the thing that you did, the reason why you're here.
I'm sorry, like the introduction and backstory for your character.
The entire premise of your entire thing.
Did it go well?
No.
I'm real bad at
She told us not to do that again. To barge into her office next time. That they are okay. It was just because of the assassination attempt, the zealots, the festival, and maybe possibly thieves underground still doing their thing.
Thieves Underground.
Yeah, I think there might be more
It's
people.
my favorite band.
I was just about to say, I was like, oh.
That
a
moment
good
when
band
everyone knows what Philip's gonna say.
Wait, so the thieves are underground and they're all waiting on the outside?
Yeah. Maybe they assume they're gonna come up. But she says they're fine. And she wishes Liam the best. But I don't know if I should tell him that. Cause,
I mean, they're best friends.
yeah.
They are.
But he's kind of sensitive about it at the moment. So I don't know if he wants us to keep putting a
Just
spotlight on it.
We could just say that Daphne said hi.
Yeah.
Man, the Zealots of the Veil, the festival, the thieves underground, this mysterious assassination, all happening at the same time.
That was weird.
That's a
I
lot
didn't
to
think
handle.
that the assassination of them.
The guards must be crazy.
They must be. And definitely, hopefully, not
Really?
looking for a bird.
Really?
I don't know what you're talking about. So,
Isn't she drunk and they tell us this?
That assassination. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. I just won a prize.
Yeah.
You would have sounded.
Oh.
And,
Wait, maybe
and
we're
we're
not.
screaming with Flanagan.
Yeah.
I was also probably the drunkest I'd ever been in my life.
Yeah.
To
which
be
is
fair.
even to say not very much.
No, it's super drunk, but
It was
like
the first time I'd
drunkest.
actually kept a drink down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
And I've never been prouder of you.
It was the sheer will of the competition.
Yeah.
It was just like,
What is next? I'm not trying to end RP. I just mean to say, are we thinking about our next moves? Are we thinking about what to do next?
Yeah, I'm wondering what our next move is. What are we?
Well-
I mean, helping with the research.
I want to go to the forest.
Okay.
Then have a job.
I mean, we can get more of the thing. I mean, and also the tarot card lady said.
Yeah.
A mag tarot card.
Oh, right.
Do you want to go by yourself, or do you want company?
I feel like we should do what Liam wants to do first, but I just wanted to throw it out there. I mean, you guys don't have to come.
Oh no, we're friends. Of course we're gonna go with you.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I'd like to go.
I haven't been through that weird door.
You did, actually.
Did I?
We went to the Expanse. It might have been a lot, though, because you kind of were scared to go
but that
into
was the
it.
thing.
Well, yeah, you
I
just
put
did
the toe
a
in,
Yeah.
and it didn't explode.
So you
So
still might
maybe-
explode if you go into the forest, though? No.
No, because
you,
the forest
you went through the
is
door.
presumably
I
on
went-
the same plane.
Presumably, like it's. I think the forest is on the same plane of existence as this. Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know.
I mean,
Great question.
I could try the feather trick again, and if it doesn't explode, then yeah.
I mean, I don't
You
know if you
just
can get in there
pass
because
a
it literally
gallstone?
just went and the
You
guy.
can't answer that question.
I can't.
We could try. I don't know. Just I like to.
It's so flippant with me.
I just hate the difference between Philip knowledge and Chris knowledge.
Yeah.
It's a hard road. Okay, yeah, no, we should give it a shot though.
But I think we should help Liam first.
Yeah, let's help Liam 1st.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants our help, I mean,
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
I know he needs Philip, but he's
yeah,
I mean, extra hands.
I would like to be helpful to him.
To the laboratory.
I'm on the balcony area now.
Oh shit.
What balcony
To the
area? What do you-
garden.
To the garden.
the tree.
Oh, the courtyard.
The courtyard.
The
I just want to be
observatory.
looking out at the. Basically, I'm watching the
Liam
mountains
with the
pass by.
hammers in
So we
the
all run up to the
observatory.
laboratory and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the books are left there, maybe closed and like put to the side in a neat order, but you know,
Can I see
left.
what the books are?
Yeah.
What are they called?
So a lot of there's 8 of them. So they all of the titles roughly have something to do with the culture of lodestones or the cultivation of mineral or ley line sort of tracking the ley line. You know, that it all seems to roughly do with that. There's also there's a book about sigils, specifically, this one seems to be like an almanac of sigils, just kind of like the differences between the draconic, dwarven, giant, and a few other runic like sigils. Things that are based within the languages that they're talking about, but more things that are like, you know, they're still their own characters, they're still their own things, and they mean certain things when they are imbued with something. So that's kind of the leaflet in the book that you get. That's the backsplash where you get to read about what the book's about. But yeah, so it'll
photo of the author.
yeah, it's just it's like
know
yeah,
that
that is a
guy.
guy who would write this book. It's just J.R.R. Tolkien. I love language. I don't know what to
I
tell
don't
you.
know what to
Oh my god, this entire world is just the Silmarillion.
But yeah, so it's a lot of books. Any of the books are in that vein.
Okay.
Minerals.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see no sign of Liam. Out on the courtyard, you do see this fresh dug earth for like the 20 feet next to the mansion side. And you do see it's very, very recently done. So
Have we stopped walking, or are we walking past it?
no, you're still walking. At this moment, you are you can see the Yang Tree Mountains in the distance.
Oh.
You are probably at this moment. Sorry, I just got to do a calculation here.
I can't wait to get comments on this.
Moves. Yeah, it moves that.
Okay, but how much of a breeze is there?
At its slowest, it doesn't.
Which
on
direction?
sails.
An unladen mansion.
It just picks its legs up and a
Unladen
sail.
mansion.
Makes me want to have a
West.
party on December 13th at our
Northwest.
house. And the night before Christmas, because it's a Friday the 13th.
That's cute.
And I was like, we could do it, but I
Just
can't
love
be
13
there.
days before the blood moon.
You sure? I was like, we can have a party, but I can't be there. She was like, why not? I was like, well,
Yeah, because
Okay, do you
20
want
20 miles an hour.
Go out, right?
to my own party.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was like 20 times a day and a half.
Fascinating.
I always try to stack them as high as human. I try to stack the same dice on top of each other. It never works.
Is it a day and a half? I got it. Thanks, Raph.
Okay.
It's half that. 20 is its maximum speed. 10 is its like
This one's the easiest.
normal speed that it can just like maintain for a long time. And with the fuel reserves you guys had, that's the one that Yvonne would have chosen. You see it, but your relative gauge of distance, it seems about the Yangtree Mountains seem about 300 miles away.
I'm gonna go to the engine room.
Okay.
And is Yvonne there?
So as you're coming through the kitchen and going to the like the carpet next to the fireplace, after the laboratory, you guys probably would have come back downstairs, or do you guys have gone upstairs?
I would have gone downstairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
I'm gonna
downstairs.
check the bedroom.
I would probably want to go to
Okay.
there.
He's napping there.
It's pretty quick to get. You know which one is his room, and it's pretty quick as you come down the stairs from the laboratory to like peek over there. He's not in there, and you guys come down the stairs as you guys see his head like go down the elevator of the, right next to the fireplace.
What?
Oh man, now we gotta wait for the next one.
Wow.
So you're in the engine room. As you kind of look down the hallway, you see Yvonne kind of like sitting down next to the panel, the lightboard panel,
Mhm.
and just kind of like messing with stuff, and like she's like looking at some of the things on the side, and like there are cables and things that are run along the length of the floor.
Mhm.
She's kind of like investigating those, and like you can see she's kind of checking out all of the facets and everything, and all of the fastenings, the fasteners I should say, and seeing how like tight they're held to the ground.
Why don't we give a brief description of the engine room for
Yeah.
her who's seeing it for the first time, and
Sure.
our audience who's
Yeah, of
also seeing it
course.
for the first time.
Is that
as you
quick
step-
was mine.
Yes, like as you step to the fireplace, you hit the latch that like on the mantle that lets the elevator go down, and there's a 10-foot carpet right next to the fireplace that basically encompasses the elevator. As you're moving down, it's a series of pipes and long, thick cables of copper, and they seem to be wrapped in this sort of... As you come back into this engine room, as a note, there's something that kind of catches your attention, and it's this thing of like some of the stuff that is wrapping these cables or wrapping these pipes in like what am I trying to say,
Like insulators?
yeah, like as an insulator. It feels very reminiscent of the like some of the tendrils and some of the equipment that you found in the Mind Flayer colony.
Right.
It seems very like similar in design and like similar material.
Yeah.
Almost as
I remember
if
at
it
the
was
time
excavated.
wondering if they were related technologies.
It
So.
seems similar. It's about a 20-foot hallway of that, and you can kind of tell that like you would be able to snake through a lot of these pipes and things to get into other areas of this engine. It seems massive. It seems to be the entirety of the size of the mansion is this engine, and you do know that like there's a portion of the hallway that veers to the right that then also takes you back to like this corner room that kind of coincides with the under the yew tree. But in front of you is an actual semicircular room, kind of the heart of the machine.
Mm-hmm.
There is a podium that by itself is featureless, but as you know, and you kind of and Yvonne is on there is a symbol on the floor next to the panel that matches the symbol of the one that you found on Moral's book, the one that you found on Terry's tabard. It is, and as you guys have kind of been learning, it seems to be a symbol of whatever this organization Terry was talking about is. Same thing with Dracarius. Like, it seems like a symbol of that organization. And so as she's sitting on it, the podium with no features is projecting a sort of hard light panel, this orange outer rim panel with like a lighter golden amber interface. It's all written in Draconic, but it's one of those things.
Is it just on like the main menu screen?
Yeah.
Right,
It seems like something that she kind of has messed with and then is checking everything else out.
Which one has the map? I want to open up the map that's used to like steer the.
Yeah, you can. You know which one has that.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it up and I just want to look at the map and see what direction she has us walking in.
She has. It's like as you open the map section, you notice that your fuel reserves are at about 10%, which was recent. Which was before this. It was at 15, I believe.
Right.
So it's one of those things where it seems like it's cost a little bit to move as far as you guys have, but the pattern also seems to be not exactly straight. It hasn't been like you get like a drawing it's this 3D topical map. And it's this thing that you draw a line on to indicate your path. And so consider it as a route. Your position here, you want to end here. This thing will follow that track. And you will see the highlighted, like, where you came from. It seems like you are nearing the end of what was the pathway. You're probably about 80% through the journey. So you can reason that you probably have another, probably another 80 miles before it would stop.
Sure. Where's it going?
It's heading northwest from the Yangtree Mountains, but it's kind of doing this little snake. You saw it doing like a slight kind of zigzag pattern. It's not following a straight line.
Yeah.
It's kind of maneuvering itself through over rivers and things and kind of making wider berths around smaller communities where you could reason like, oh yeah, I've seen a map of Alolia, like that's probably near a farming village or things like that. Smaller communities that wouldn't necessarily be able to full on see it.
Okay.
It's heading northwest. It ends probably roughly from the map. You're gonna see that it is roughly you're about halfway towards the Compass Rose Rivers. Like that would be a main point of reference for you.
Right.
Is that like you can see it, and where you'll end up is about there. Like still roughly like halfway to that.
All right.
You're still inland. You're not really near the coast.
Yeah.
But
Yvonne.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Hello.
Where are we going?
I was just taking us to a plot of land that I knew was vacant.
Right. So we're just going to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Why?
How far away? I wanted to look around those mountains. But it's fine.
I suppose we could go back.
We need to get more fuel first. Yvonne, do you know, or have you seen, or are you aware of there existing a map of any like ley lines that are in this area?
Well, that's really unfortunately, that's sort of difficult. As ley lines change, they shift. It's consider it like tectonic movement. It's not the same every month.
The energy in the ley lines is
They go through their own seasons as well.
Yeah, so the ley lines are like magic. It's like this. Does it have any relation to the ethereal plane? Is there any crossover between the type of energy in the ethereal plane and the ley lines, or?
I suppose the ethereal plane is, whereas the Feywild or the Shadowfell would be what people here in the material call mirror plane. The ethereal is more the space between.
Right.
The astral is the outside and how it connects to everything else, and so I guess theoretically you could say that it would have a closer relation to the ley lines.
Right.
It certainly would. I mean,
if I had an ability that would allow me to see into the ethereal plane as well as just to be able to see very like. Are you familiar with True Sight?
yes, of
Would
course.
True Sight help me find ley lines? Because you can see into the ethereal plane with it. I was wondering if it would help to locate.
I certainly have never heard of anyone attempting that, but that does not mean, obviously, that's more of a hypothesis at that point.
Right.
It's not that I have ever heard it not working. I've just never heard anybody try it.
Right.
But it's a workable theory. Certainly, the ethereal plane allows for a more obvious connection to magical sight, or just in general. But again, I suppose it would depend on the shifting tide
Right.
of the ley lines themselves. They're much wider than you would imagine, though.
Okay.
The ley lines are more of a blanket than a strict
Stream.
stream. Yes,
Okay.
the difference between a babbling brook and a rushing river.
Alright. Okay.
Did I do something wrong with the house?
No, it's fine. I didn't.
Okay, because I asked if I could move it and you said yes. I also asked them, the other people, if I could move it and they said yes.
Yeah, it's fine. I
Okay.
should have thought.
Would you like to go back? I could make it go back. I just think that it would be unwise to be in that area.
No, you're probably right. I'm thinking very specifically about specific things and not about the good of the house or people around us. So you're probably in a clear state of mind to make these decisions.
I guess I would also like to posit to you that from what I know of lodestones and from what Nerith has said many years ago when he started his tasks, was that it's more of it's just because it's a mountain doesn't mean it's rich in minerals.
Right. That makes sense.
And I suppose you could ask him, but I believe, as I recall, it had more to do with the distance underground than anything being a deposit.
Okay.
It had more to do with the richness of the earth type thing.
That makes sense.
That's about all I know, though, in that regard.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. She starts to take out a notebook and write down. I have a theorem that I'd like to develop, and I think it could. I don't know if it will work,
I get that.
but you raised an interesting question.
Alright. Well, I'll leave you be for now.
Okay. by the end of this conversation, the elevator, you guys have been able to get it and go back down. And like Liam has come out. He comes forward from from that actual heart of the machine room, and yeah, you're down in the depths.
This house is sick, you guys. This is so cool. You have a floor elevator
Yeah.
to a room full of wires. That is crazy. That is crazy.
I didn't even know what a regular elevator was.
I know. That's true.
Um,
An elevator period.
so, we talked to Daphne.
Right. How is it?
She doesn't like the whole appearing thing.
I get that.
But she said everything was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So we just wanted to know if maybe you wanted all of our help with your thing, because we would like to help.
That's fair. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. That's the biggest issue here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm floundering in the darkness here, and I'm not sure what to do. So I feel bad taking any of your time for something that might be nothing.
Well,
Is the issue that I run into.
I often don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I want to do, so I just do that.
Fair enough.
What do you want to do?
I just want to know everything.
A little more specific.
I was gonna say, I was like, any.
Wish I could help you, Philip. Wish I could help you there. Do you...
Is this something to do with lodestones?
Yeah, I was actually curious about something. I don't know if this will be anything, but it won't take long if you guys want to come with me. Let's go to our the courtyard, the tree one. The tree one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
Did you see the garden?
No. Yes, I did. I didn't
Very
notice
briefly.
it. Yeah. Okay. What did the garden look like? Because I'm curious.
Okay, it's still so
Year.
fresh. There's
okay.
nothing like
Oh, you were saying I walked by fresh tilled.
fresh
Yeah.
tilled earth, and then you asked where the mountains.
Where the mountains went. I was
And it's
distracted
like-
by that.
Yeah,
Where'd
you
the mountains
immediately
go?
ran back inside. So
Yeah, I was flustered last time.
right. So you all journey to the courtyard. It is by this point maybe only 6 a.m. Like not that much later. The sun is just rising at this moment, and so you're seeing the red amber light of the sun kind of streaking across the plain that you're on right now. It is very flat over here. It is. You can see for miles. Because he only has one eye.
Yeah.
You have to see for miles. So...
Too soon.
That was a real good one.
but it's a lot of... I'm trying to remember what... Not crabgrass, but like yellow grass plain.
Oh no.
There it is.
Please. Please.
So it's not
Okay,
actual
okay.
hills, but there are certainly slight dips and divots to parts of the earth. It seems less tillable as well. It doesn't seem... You can kind of tell you're only about 80 miles away from the end of this trip. It seems like the stretch that you're seeing in front of you is going to be kind of the same. It seems not a lot of stuff gets put out in this area. It seems pretty open, but also empty.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Philip, I was
Yeah?
curious if... So we've ended up on these chunks of adventure for a while where we come across lodestones, and the one thing that's been really consistent is your ability to kind of... you seem to have a knack for detecting as well as like sensing certain types of energy. I was wondering if depending where we are, there might not be anything around here to find, but I was wondering if you could focus and see if you can find any ley lines or potential lodestones, even like vague general directions that they would be in. I don't know if it's something you've thought about or tried to do, but I was wondering if you'd give it a shot for me.
Yeah. Yeah, let me try something. I want to go over to the tree, and I want to kind of like touch that and sort of just try to vibe with it, you know, like kind of pick up, because like the tree does have like a magical thing to it, right? Or
Yes.
okay. Does it feel similar to like what we felt from Lodestones before?
No, it doesn't feel like. It's not a similar energy pattern to that. It's magical for sure. But where the Lodestones seem to have kind of. Well, especially like the big ones, which I don't think I ever said this. I'm just sort of dubbing them like Emperor Lodestones. With those, they
Lordstones.
Lordstones. They, some of it had like some sort of consciousness or something like that, or like it had this other and like essence to it. This, in that way, is similar to them, but not in any other way. The tree itself feels
Feels like it has a consciousness to it.
in some way.
Interesting.
It feels a part of the place. And nameless, as you're sort of watching this him interact with the tree, there is sort of a moment of what amounts to like a vibration, like a frequency vibration, right? Like it's just kind of like a buzzing through you of the condition of this tree sort of helps the condition of the entirety of the place when it's well taken care of, when it's in,
Yeah, I think I kind of gathered that last time when I fed the house.
Yeah, so it seems
That's what I did when I gathered energy and I was glowing, and then I fed the tree.
it seems that it's it doesn't seem dead. It seems like a healthy tree, but it does have no leaves. It has, it is barren at the moment. But pardon me. Again, you feel a light consciousness to it, and that's the thing that you have an association with, but the other things about Lodestones, no. It just seems like its own unique thing.
Okay.
Oh, we're running low on fuel, Nameless.
I can tell.
Yeah, I just
Should
down
I
in the engine
go
room.
Get more.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't even really here for the process. I've only heard you describe it. So, I don't know. Like if we can help with that, or if it's a one person job, we should have it. We should
I can
probably
do
fill
it,
up
yeah.
What does the house run on?
Energy.
magic.
Oh, just kind of general magic.
It's probably specific, but we don't really
I
know.
don't know.
That's fair.
Do I know?
Mystery.
I mean, we did this very early on before we.
Also,
run on
I mean,
suspense.
you haven't really asked what kind it is, so
I'm gonna just put it in my body. I like that for me.
that's fine.
Well, it happened so early on before we learned all this stuff about lodestones and everything.
Yeah.
I can go do it again and we could, figure it out. It takes a little while. Sometimes it doesn't work for me. But I could try it out if you want me to.
I think you're the best person for it.
Okay.
Is there anything we can help with?
No?
Nope.
Okay. I'll go feed the tree. So then I'm gonna go and feed the tree.
All right, so you walk.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go with them to the door for that. I'm gonna stay back here and try to figure things out.
Oh,
Okay.
were people coming with me?
I mean,
I wasn't sure
no,
if they were.
because you said you didn't.
Yeah, you said you didn't need it.
Yeah, I figure I'll just go do this while they're doing something else.
Okay. You walk to the door. You click it over to the expanse. You step through into void, and there's you do remember that like
I had to say something last time. And I don't know if I still have.
Those notes from over a year ago.
I know.
Juliet shows Philip near.
Wow, Juliet.
I still have no idea who Juliet is.
it's true.
And you
I don't think
never
any of us
Yeah,
really
it's
knew
in
who
my
Juliet
the
was.
notebook that got ruined.
That's okay.
I do remember there was something I needed to say that was like
Mm,
not like a magical word, but like something that
there
like,
was nothing. I'll let you in
energy.
on a little thing. There wasn't something that you needed to say. There wasn't like a thing to be said.
No, but it was like the way I worded it was like the energy that was behind it. I just can't remember what it was. I feel like Nameless would remember, but me as Chelsea
Yeah,
doesn't remember.
that's what I'm trying to say to you. Is that like, I'll sort of describe it. I am gonna need a roll, but I'll let you know when that happens. You step back out to the expanse. You get you remember that you have to walk till you can see the stars.
Mhm.
Like that's kind of your. Like you have to get in far enough. And as you do, and you sit down, and sort of, are you naked this time or are you clothed?
I'm gonna try clothes, see what happens. Or no.
So you sit, and what you remember is that it was more about surrendering to it, and just sort of connecting to it in that way.
Okay.
That's kind of like that was the process. It was because it was written. If I remember correctly, it was written in Dracarius' journal, but it was just like this energy. You have to collect it within, and
Yeah.
so what I need from you is a wisdom ability check.
So that's just my modifier plus it. Whatever I roll. Oh no.
You should be proficient. Well, no, it's not a saving throw.
It's not a save.
Yeah. Guidance.
Yeah, so meta,
Or
metagaming,
what I'll say
you'd
is-
actually be the
what I'll
best
say
for
is-
Philip, but
We
we don't know that.
How are you trying to connect to it? Like how? What are the things that you're trying to like push forth?
No, I don't have more wisdom than her.
What?
No?
I suppose like you could use one of your skills with wisdom as your bonus, if it doesn't have wisdom already.
Okay.
So like
I found the
without giving too much away, like you could utilize knowledge of something to.
I think I would put forth a sense, like kind of what I did when I was in the forest, where it's like a sense of vulnerability and a sense that I trust whatever will come. I trust that this will take care of what we need.
I'll allow nature check then,
So
but with your wisdom bonus instead of intelligence.
it is with my wisdom.
Nature?
Nature's an intelligence check.
Why'd I have +4 then? Oh, because I'm proficient.
You are proficient, so instead of +4, it should be +8, right? Because you have a +4 wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah, then +8.
Yeah, I definitely don't have more wisdom than she does.
20. Not naturally, but.
The face you made was like, oh no, and then
I mean, I'm just a really good roller. High roller.
yeah, there's something.
Ooh.
There's something. Maybe through the lessons you've kind of gained through being in this group, or maybe the enacting thing that you had with the forest previously has kind of just, as well as doing this before,
Mm-hmm.
all kind of feels second nature now, and it seems you're getting better at letting something go to let something in, to let something new in, and how to fill that space within you, kind of a thing. how long do you allow that to happen? Basically, there's like a...
I kind of want to go until like I feel like it's telling me it's time to go. Like I feel like basically until like I feel like it's overwhelming me.
Okay.
That's why I was saying I'll do this while they're doing something else.
Right. You... That's probably around 30 minutes of sitting there and just soaking in this whatever it is.
Mystery.
Would you like to try to decipher?
Can I do that? Yeah. Yeah, I would like
Flowing
that.
through you. You can try.
I would like. How do I do?
That'll be
How do you do?
How do I do?
Honestly, to understand this thing, it's gonna be an intelligence check. It's gonna be an Arcana check.
Arcana.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Natural 20.
Boop, 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 boop.
You know
It's
exactly
towards
what's
the end.
going
It's
on.
towards the end of your time spending like gathering this energy within yourself. That you're, for a good portion of the beginning, you're not worried about anything. You're just trying to open yourself up to it so it'll actually do something. And by the end, when you start to notice that you don't really feel like it's safe to hold anymore, you're starting, like, there's a moment just kind of looking yourself over. There is like this sheen to your skin. There's also this like light aura around you at all times.
Well,
but it also feels like
Literally.
it also feels like your entire body is vibrating. And there's a moment where your eyes kind of go, and it's that thing where it's like, it's not just a feeling, my body is vibrating.
Ooh.
And it's in that moment, those last few minutes that you're still collecting this, that you start to really delve into what the energy source is and why it feels this way. What you're feeling by the end of your discovery, there are moments that when you cast a spell, when you change into your wild shapes, when you talk to Panther, when you feel the trees, when you hear the whistling of the grass being blown, anything that makes you feel attuned to the magical nature of the world feels like this. But it feels brief. When you cast a spell, there's a tingle through all your vein and your nerves. All of those things get blasted with something. It doesn't hurt. It just is a sensation. You're feeling it constantly now. It does have vague reminiscent of the waves of the Ember, or the Emperor Lodestone under the Hills of Madness. Just these body-racking sort of vibrations. And you kind of conclude, and you feel it in your bones, and you know that what you're actually attuning to within the expanse, what the expanse must be, what the astral plane pulls from, and why it exists entirely, is it is the never-ending font of magic. You are attaching yourself directly to the arcanum, the thing. And there's the last moment that you hold on to that feeling before you have to let it go, or you feel like you'll explode, is a mixed realization. You realize, I'm attaching myself to the force of magic, to magic itself, and it doesn't care about me. And it doesn't care about anything. It is completely neutral. And that's when the feeling, like, that's when you're able to cut it off.
Cool. That's both terrifying and totally awesome.
Just like me. Wait.
So as you're walking back towards the tree, I'll come to you four out back in the courtyard during that half an hour that it takes her to collect this energy.
Okay. I'm gonna here. I'm just gonna like close my hand like around like his fingers got like the ring on. I'm gonna like feel for that. It's much smaller, but like feeling for like the vibe of that lodestone basically, and seeing
Sure.
like is it still there?
I'm gonna need a
Vibe check.
I know.
vibe check. I'm trying to make it like wisdom. I think you would be proficient in it by this point. You've done enough work.
We're creating like a new skill set basically.
Yeah, like and you've
Vibing.
really you've been the one who's focusing on this the most, like the stones themselves. So yeah, you're certainly proficient in it at this point.
Okay.
Wisdom plus your proficiency.
I really need to
So-
actually get good wisdom.
What is it? 6?
It's a +4, I think. Yeah, +4 altogether.
You only have a +1 wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a little bit higher, but no.
No. I should, but I don't. All right. It's a 15.
15.
Yeah.
Just enough to kind of get the feeling. It is because you're right. It's a smaller stone. It's a little bit harder to read. It doesn't have as much of a signature. But like, you latch onto the feeling though.
Does this so? When I learned how to do my aura of warding,
Right.
when I learned to take like the divine magic that I have access to and push that into that, is this a similar feeling? Is this a similar vibe, or does it feel like these come from like completely different sources? Like, does my divine magic feel like it comes from a different place than what's in these lodestones?
Yes and no. You know that it comes from the same place in that it draws from the same. Like the energy seems to be coming from magic. I don't mean to say it that way. I'm not trying to make it simple. I'm trying to say it's like it definitely feels like we all pull from the same string. And you're certainly learning that, is that regardless of what the person is using, whether it be divine, arcane, or these lodestones, or just like an item, that like there is some weave of magic that connects those two things. They're not that separate. But the thing that does separate it, the thing that you can really tell the difference is, the stone is a collection of that. The stone is its own thing. But when you pull from your magic, it's given to you. There is a bit of a realization that Philip, before ROI, would have just remained Philip. The lodestone, there's a moment where you realize, is similar. The lodestone will always just be a lodestone until an ROI comes along and makes it something.
So my divine magic feels like it's been processed, basically. Whereas what's in the lodestone feels like that raw, kind of neutral sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The four of you are on there though too as well. If you guys wanted to do anything.
I want to step back now and like let go of the ring and everything, and where I want to stay like within 10 feet of him still, just like step back a bit. With that ward that I'm pushing out, with my like kind of divine like aura, can I feel his ring inside that? Like, can I feel other magics that are in the aura that I'm putting out?
I'll say yes, because the main point of that aura is to protect from it, right? Is to diminish the power of attacking spells. But I'll also say that it extends out to the idea that, like, while it's not as direct detect magic, the fact that you're focusing as hard as you are on that stuff already means that you kind of already have that signature. So I think that's part of it. It's like you can tell that, like, you wouldn't just be able to walk around and feel it just with the aura on. You'd have to be sort of like a bloodhound. You'd have to have the scent of something to have this happen, but it is picking it up.
Okay.
You're not having to work as hard while it's within your range.
Okay. So, I think you want to find more of these lodestones, right? I think if I know what kind we're looking for, I can help. But there's just so much out there that I don't know how much I can detect without knowing what we're looking for.
Fair.
However, I think it might be possible to make something or to do something that would be better at this than I am.
How so? What do you have in mind?
So, that leaves like a mark, basically, or a vibe. Like, you can feel the magic there. Well, so how do I put this? There's magic that is meant to find other magic.
Right.
And this is a very specific kind of magic. But I don't know, I think it might be possible to make something that looks specifically for this kind of energy.
That's fair. Then I need something to run that item. So I need to find something to run that item to make this item that can find lodestones.
Is there a way to do like a dowsing rod sort of thing? Is there some sort of like
I don't know.
old timey make 'em up sort of sounding thing that might actually work?
I don't know. So I'm thinking about the map in the engine room. I'm thinking this house already somehow detects and knows a massive area around it.
Right.
I'm wondering if we can find out how that functions and maybe use that, adjust that, or build something into the house itself to make like a tool it has to detect, if not lodestones, high intensity areas of magic, which could be useful for if a crazy wizard decides to attack us, or if someone within the range of the house is doing a giant ceremony to raise a bunch of undead. That'd be something we could potentially see in advance.
Interesting.
If it's something we can do. I don't know enough about how the house maps the area around it, or what sort of detection it has already built in. That'd be something worth looking into.
We might have to look for some without it,
Yeah.
because I don't know how we would even go about making something like that.
I don't know either. I also don't know where we would start looking. I have no idea.
Well,
I've spent the last
Day and a half.
the last day and a half,
Like 2
doing
days. Like
nothing.
2 days. Just
Yeah,
roughly.
2 days doing nothing but reading, and I have no idea where to find him other than near ley lines which move. So how quickly do these things sprout up
Well,
around the
I have
ley lines and underground?
And just to clarify, it's that there are stagnant ley lines, but it's meant to be like they move, they shift, but it's kind of in similar patterns that like you might be able to track, but like it's not easy.
I have a couple ideas.
Right.
So, well, I have 2 ideas.
That's a couple.
Don't think about this now. Get the ideas out.
Why don't we just say 2 instead of couple then?
Ugh, we lost him.
Oh, right. So, 1, we know that these large lodestones, that they have an effect on everything around them. Everyone that we've seen has done something to the area around it. It's very possible that there would be smaller ones somewhere nearby them, I would think, if there's that much of a concentration of energy. I don't know how we would go about looking there, but I think looking for areas of heavily concentrated magic and assuming that there's got to be some around there. The other one is possibly Rakia. If you're talking about, a whole society that lives under the earth,
Right.
it's constantly mining, constantly getting stones. It feels like an entire country built around that.
That's fair.
I don't know if there's lodestones there, but if I had to just randomly pick a place, that seems like the one.
Yeah, and if nothing else, they'll have people who've done a lot of research into it. I mean, it's like we could find someone who knows more, right?
Probably.
It would make sense to me.
I mean, if their whole steez is getting rocks out of the ground, I'm sure they probably found at least 1 or 2 special glowy ones.
My favorite bird person slang, steez.
Steez.
I want
They're
to be on the
steez.
gravestone. My steez is getting rocks out of the ground.
Special glowy rocks.
So, I don't know. The safest lodestone that I've seen has been the one under Sested.
Right.
So I
was
think
that
it's-
found there or brought there?
I think it was really big.
Yes, that's my thought, but at the same time...
Sested is a new enough city, and with the way that the walls are built, I
It's
would
entirely
assume that they
likely-
built it there because of the lodestone.
Right.
Yeah, build
If
it
we
around
can get back underground near the Ember, or would we want to check around underground around the town itself?
I know a special way down into the sewers.
Right.
When I right when I met y'all, but like you said that you need to get the scent, yeah, so that you can like sort of feel it out better.
Oh, yeah, when we get down there, you can start. It's hard not to feel it.
True.
Yeah.
So maybe we go down there. We get you your bloodhound scent. We see if it's built around there. Maybe then you can feel it out a little better.
And I think that's one place to look.
Yeah,
I don't know how
Beats.
Daphne would feel about it.
beats going to the Hills of Madness.
I mean, we don't. What
It's
Daphne?
much better than the Hills of Madness.
Much better than those.
Are you sure?
I mean, what Daphne don't know can't really hurt her, right?
I think it has
Well,
several times.
they
in
didn't
the
know.
past.
All of them having to do with us.
They didn't know about the Zealots of the Veil.
True, I guess that's very true.
There's also other places that we know about. Farah has has that whole magical big metal carriage on a
Right.
This is a brilliant
track.
question. A train? Is it a train?
Yeah.
It's a train.
It's a train.
It's a train. They have a
Okay.
train.
I was just
And
like,
he has a toy train that I got for him from
Yes.
oh, that's very sweet.
that he bought me actually.
You would know through training with Yvonne. Yvonne has talked about it. They call it a train.
They
Okay.
do call it a
Yeah,
train?
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
fucking
I
lazy.
think they call it a train.
I believe it's called train.
Ah, yes, trains,
I think
the
it's
desert cars.
It's of the desert.
No, we don't have those there. We walk.
We don't.
Yeah. We walk really
Everywhere.
fast. Have you seen
Cars
me
are
jog?
the desert trains.
Have you
I
seen
don't
me
know.
Cars are
jog?
the-
I keep up with Panther.
Shoes, the desert
Jeez.
cars.
The desert.
Sandals, the desert car.
Sandals, the desert's horses.
Wait, are
It's just the resort sandals.
if shoes are the desert cars, are sandals the desert convertibles?
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yes.
Huh.
These are the hard-hitting questions.
I
that
wish
find
sandals
very
were convertible and you could just like
natural.
pull like the toss back up. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, we started.
Is there
raining
anything
while I
else
was
that you guys wanted to
Oh.
discuss about this?
Lodestones.
out. I could talk about it forever.
We're gonna
Yes.
go to a break. That's my
Yes.
point. Like, I just wanted to make sure that
Yes.
we didn't have anything else like super important at this moment. We'll come back and we will start there, but also with Nameless coming back into the courtyard.
And then we'll tell her about sandals.
So yeah, I mean we'll be back in time.
We're getting real deep into some nerd shit.
We really are.
Yeah.
We're getting into my favorite part of like the
I'm
stuff
not
that I've
sorry.
been
I'm
waiting
not
for.
sorry. I was gonna apologize. I'm not sorry at all.
No, don't be
We're-
sorry because
yeah.
this is so fun. I've been waiting for this. I have been waiting for you guys to actually be in this mansion for longer than 2 minutes.
That's true. We do
And
tend to
B,
talk about
I have been waiting for the moment where you guys actually have the opportunity to go somewhere else.
Outside
So-
of the city, yeah.
Back under Sested we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Back underneath Sested.
And I'm okay with that.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's all right. Oh, look.
Good night, ones.
I
Welcome
like-
back.
It's like a blank stare, but hand in the bowl. Not
Like I'm in context, like,
yeah, like you.
Welcome back.
Thank God you're here. Don't
a
worry
newscaster.
about the problem.
I would love that. Like a newscaster who's just like hot. And on the just wasn't paying
Well, that's
attention.
not that.
Did you see
That's up to
the
you.
video?
there's
of the
like, if I just don't
newscaster?
move, they won't notice.
That's like she's like eyes so pale, and then like the other newscaster next to her was like, "We're live," and she's just like, "Yesterday there was a terrifying car accident." Like eyes
Not
so
see it.
pale.
Wonderful. Back to you guys.
You
Back to
guys.
you.
Glowing, vibrating Chelsea.
She like vibrates into the.
that-
She just passes through the wall.
Now that's a merch idea.
A vibrating Chelsea.
It's a vibrating nameless, and it's just like, you're not that cool.
It's just an action where you just turn on the
So
switch and they
mean.
start glowing and vibrating.
Yeah.
And that's it.
But it's voice
Oh,
act.
no.
It has voice
Or like
lines
a
too.
full-
Yeah, it has voice
like one of
lines
those
too. And it's
full
just
balls.
like, you're really gonna wear that?
If you touch my wolves, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Can you
So-
give me some animals?
He was sexy.
I want
Give me some
animals.
Did you think he was sexy?
Did you think he was sexy? That's so far the best line.
Um,
Did you think he was sexy?
As you guys, you're just gonna welcome again.
Hey guys, welcome to the Natural Ones.
Part 2.
Today's episode.
As you guys are in the middle of your conversation, nameless, you step through the door, and yeah, all of you notice this thin sort of aura, this slightly glowing, and this sheen to the skin, almost as if it's crystalline.
Is it like that scene in Lord of the Rings? You could have yourself a queen! You know what I'm
Oh,
talking about?
Galadriel?
Yeah.
No.
Dang. Oh.
A queen,
Vibe
not dark,
check.
but beautiful.
Vibe check.
Does she feel like the ring? Meaning the ring that he's got. The
Oh, okay.
Lodestone.
We just talked about Lord of
Oh,
the Rings, so
I
I
thought
thought you
me
were.
too,
I was on that.
I
sorry,
was
man.
just
Sorry.
or-
Oh my god, why did we not try to find that ring for Liam?
Bummer!
Alright,
We bring in Frodo.
we just bring him a halfling. It's like, here.
He'll know where a good ring is.
A halfling, a barefoot
I don't like the eyebrow. I
halfling.
don't like the eyebrow movements with that. Oh, he'll show you.
Oh, yeah, he'll show
He'll
you
show you a ring.
a real good
A
ring.
real good vibrating ring.
Yeah.
We'll call this one the Ring of Goatsy.
It'll fit around whatever you put in it.
So Nameless walks
It
in.
requires some
You're
attunement.
It
vibrating.
requires some attunement. About
So-
30 minutes of alone time.
So vibe check.
Vibe check. Does she feel like the lodestone?
Are you touching me?
No.
I can
Okay.
feel you
The
in my
general
aura, especially
aura.
considering
No,
how
I was
strong
about to
you
be
are.
like, I feel like I would have been like, excuse you. But
Yeah,
no,
you're
No,
good.
he was not touching you. That's what I mean.
no, yeah.
I said no, and I realized I needed to direct it towards you. as she passes through your like aura, it does give off a faint, sort of like similar signature. More faint, more in the way of like the same way that little lodestone. You could feel it, but it's just such a small signature that like it was hard to register. That same way, where it's just like it doesn't seem like that strong of a signature, but it's enough that you can notice it. And Nameless,
Am I okay to touch the tree? Do you guys need to like do anything?
No.
No, go for it.
No, it seems like you need to touch a tree.
she also has this like there's like this periodically like every like second and a half, every like 3 seconds kind of a thing where it's like her whole form just like buzzes.
Reverse flash.
I
Yeah,
take a
maybe you
picture of
should
it.
touch a tree. You're doing the weird like buzzy thing.
She's got a bad signal.
Wi-Fi's low.
I touched the tree.
Nothing happens as you just touch the tree.
And try to give it my my energy, the magic.
As you focus and sort of reattune to the idea of almost it's like the reverse feeling, like where in the expanse you were opening it up, it's the expellation of that energy.
Mhm.
You feel it leaving you, and as she does, her aura's just like the glowing and the crystalline look to her fades as you see the yew tree slightly color, and as you pour it into it, you do see tiny buds of leaves and things start to like very lightly sprout throughout the tree.
Crushed it.
That's a really good trick. That's really cool.
Thanks. No, I didn't. I did it myself. What happened while I was gone?
You do feel not exhausted, but as you feel, you're like, I can probably only do that once.
A day or like?
Yeah, like once a day. It's like one of those things where you're just like, that was a lot.
Okay.
You also kind of feel like no matter what, that might be the feeling afterwards. It's kind of like as it leaves you, you kind of have to sit down for a second and.
Okay. So, gonna like lean against a tree. Like, what happened while I was gone?
We've been talking about potential places we might be able to find some lodestones.
Why are we looking for them?
To learn more about them. I have some ideas on ways we could use them, but I'm not sure yet. I'd need to have them to actually fiddle with. I've come up against a wall in doing just straight research from books, and I need to get my hands on some. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to try and accomplish.
What are you trying to accomplish with the lodestones?
I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot you can do. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas, and I don't know if any of them will work. And I don't know. I don't like talking about things before I know if I can make it happen or not.
I'm just saying, I mean, I just connected to like the natural raw magic of the world, and maybe you could use that.
I think for a lot of what I'm trying to do, I need
I get so
something to...
character and then you just laugh and I can't hold it.
It was just so beautifully worded.
It's dry as a fart. It's just the driest person that I have ever seen in my entire life.
I just want to, okay.
We're
Question.
gonna clip that.
Yeah!
We're 100%.
But like syncing it up with
Do
the
the
other clip.
lodestones, do they look like regular stones at all? Just like with color? Or like what do they look like? Do they look like crystals? Like what are they?
I definitely went to go grab my Dixie, not my goldfish.
They're more like gemstone. They have that texture.
I want to touch the
But
other and see if it'll help us
You
with
can
more.
tell that this one that's built into this has been shaped. Like
right
the
now.
Ember and the one under the Hills of Madness that you guys saw was much rougher. It
Yeah.
was it was still it was an uncut, it was unfinished stone. So its raw form is much different than this little thing that you see in the ring, which is much cleaner. But their color is not the same as a garnet or a sapphire or something like that. It's not the same as a gemstone in that there is a swirl of it. It's almost as if emotion is being, as if it's a liquid with encased.
Inside a crystal.
Yeah, encased in.
So, way early on in the campaign,
Correct.
Chelsea and I got some dragon treasure.
Okay.
Included in that was 300 like treasured items. What would you say those things are exactly?
A bunch of lodestones.
Not lodestone, but like
A bunch of lodish stones.
Lodesk.
Lodesk stones.
Like the loaded stones, please.
It was more gemstone, more, a silver tray or something like that. Like it was treasured items,
Stuff
things
that
that were.
Stuff that will be awards at a jouster, like the statue or like a golden feather.
things
like,
that are
Shiny.
made of the material, so that's their worth.
I'm gonna run up to my room,
Okay.
yeah, and start digging through that stuff, looking for any kind of gemstone, basically.
I just get Nameless up to speed on, like, we were thinking maybe around the larger lodestones we found, there might be others, so we're thinking about checking the area underneath the city that isn't Farah, and then also we've talked about going to Rekia, because we know they appear underground. So I just get you caught up on our conversation there.
Are we, pardon the pun, but are we far away from Farah?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, because that was
Which
the
one's
thing, wasn't it
far
on
as
the
the-
other side of the...
We were a day's
So the
travel
the
away,
side that we're
actually.
sitting on right now in the garden is like the side of Farah,
Right,
but we were always kind of a little ways away from Farah.
right. It was a couple hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Farah isn't the one we want to go to, actually. It's the one that we always go to.
Although we've got a train there.
It's just dead.
Sisted, yeah. Sisted, underneath Sisted is where we're thinking about going, as well as Rekia. We haven't been to Farah in a while, but we could go back there. We were thinking about maybe talking to people who run the train as well.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool to take a train.
What's
Yeah.
a train?
I don't know. I'm
It's
excited
like a
about it.
giant metal carriage that runs along a track, so it can go a lot faster than a regular carriage. Uses magic to propel itself. And but like a giant, like a snake of metal carriages all on a track.
A snake?
Well, it's long.
Is it
So it's like several carriages stuck together, so like a snake of carriages. Like the desert film Human Centipede? Carriages.
I've seen it, yes.
That took such a hard left turn too. I was just like, the desert movie Orient Express, but it's like
No,
I don't have that movie in the
no,
desert.
Soul
That
Human
movie's
Centipede.
from where I'm from. That's not a desert movie.
So back up in your room.
Yeah.
Up in my room.
I feel
Right.
safe on the road.
Up in my room, I feel safe on the road.
I don't know your life.
All right.
You dig through your treasure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It takes, roughly 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go through all of it. Especially the stones themselves. Like, there are quite a bit of them. There are, there are 9 different stones that help. Not very large. They're all kind of that large. As you're looking through the last little pile, there's one that is of a distinct color, and that you kind of take and look at and peer at a little closer. And as you're doing that, you're getting a hint of the lodestone from the ring.
What color is it?
It is a it is a green stone.
And there's some other gemstones in there as well.
There's other gemstones, but you didn't feel anything while holding them.
Can I pocket them, anyways? But like run down with.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you can pocket the
I
gemstone.
want to pocket those and run down with the green.
All of that all those the other 8 is roughly 150 gold of the 300 in value. That's what I'm saying. It's like you hold about 150 gold worth of gems.
Okay. I'm gonna run back down to the courtyard and
Okay.
show them.
He holds up a green stone to you. It's about the size of, it's not too.
Right. In my
Fits in your
research,
palm.
would I know, one, if this is a lodestone, two, what type of magic green usually is?
You'd probably have to do a
with?
little bit. You'd
I
have to
can
do a
confirm.
check. You'd have to do a check to know to know specifically it is a lodestone.
Right.
I
But
will-
if
I'm gonna tell him this is a lodestone. This is a lodestone. It has the magic.
okay, what would I know what
Does the
green
magic.
would be?
Mm.
What is it?
It is a necromantic.
Oh Jesus!
Fuck!
Okay,
That
dragon.
was just in your room?
Okay, dragon.
Question. Can you take other stones and maybe put the magic from the room in the stone?
That's what I was thinking. But you're too tired to do it again. But if we can, I don't know if the crystals have to form.
But like,
I don't know if the crystals have to form magically, or if we can. I dig the other ones out, or if we can put magic into these ones.
can we maybe do it like you recharge your crystals and put it in the expanse to recharge our crystals?
You just
Maybe.
leave them there for a little bit, or
I mean, you leave them under the moon or something to recharge crystals. So maybe you just recharge the crystals under
That's-
the expanse.
that's not a bad idea at all.
Oh god, it's
What about that? Don't you understand?
Wait, so the moon charges crystals?
Yes.
How much are they? Sorry.
Yes, say it.
God damn it!
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, I think the new the new joke
game.
for us, the new game for us is just trying to get your stupid jokes out before you do.
Sorry. That one just kind of
Oh,
fell
can we-
out. That one I
can we,
didn't
have a
really.
counter, so it's just every time we do it, there's a counter.
Ding! Down at the bottom here.
Hey Chris, in post, can you watch the whole thing again?
And mark your own jokes.
and mark your own failures.
I love it.
great. Like,
We'll just announce it for our
You fail
next
free, you
episode.
die.
Oh, we have
Maybe we just start marking them in the notes.
Or we just at the beginning of every game. Oh, we're having a drinking game.
Okay, I want to see if we can. But this one definitely has something in it. So, Liam, I don't know. I can't tell what it does, but this has the magic in it.
I'm gonna grab it. It's uncut.
No, it is cut.
Oh.
The director's
All right. So to clarify, so from a raw stone to a cut stone, that makes it more stable, and the actual getting a specific result out of it has to do with the casing, right? Okay. So cool. So this is a cut necrotic magic
Yes.
stone. Okay. Cool.
necrotic.
I haven't said that as Liam.
Sorry,
It's
necrotic.
okay. Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Let me make my question for me.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, not that
That
much of a
was a
difference
British
with the word necrotic between your regular
Yeah,
Russian accent.
necrotic. Necrotic.
Necrotic.
Necrotic.
All right.
Necrotic. Yeah, it's the R.
I heard-
That photo will work too if we get a still
Right.
shot of that.
Necrotic.
Ah,
Grab this. I'm just gonna examine this for a bit.
If we get a still shot for your.
That the idea of putting magic into other crystals is really interesting to me. I'm curious. If you do end up pulling that off, I'm super interested in the result.
Well, I can
can-
try it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna examine this for a bit, if you don't mind.
No, by all means. Do we
Alright,
need to?
thank you.
Nameless.
Yeah.
Do you have any of the treasure that the dragon gave us? That's where I found these.
No. I don't know what I did with it.
That's okay. I forgot I had this for a very long time.
There's a lodestone in there.
We could have used it for money a long time ago.
Are you sure that you didn't just have all of it? Because I don't think I have any of it.
That's very possible. I just wanted to see if there was maybe any more around. But at least we have one.
That's
Look,
Bridget.
this is literally something that happened like 2 years or more ago.
I know. That's why I was asking him.
I don't know. You might.
You the
Oh, but
all-seeing
you know what I
guy.
actually do have?
Like I only it's in the first page of my
Can you look
notes.
from a year?
That's how long ago it was.
The first.
It's
ever
the first
page.
thing I ever took down in the notes.
Aw,
Like
sweet memories.
I do have the OG Panther page, so maybe I do have.
OG Panther page. That's my rap name, by the way.
OG paper.
So what's going on? Who's
I'm running out to the Expanse.
Okay. And you're doing what, the stone? What are you trying to do?
I'm just examining it. I honestly just buying time. Liam's not going to be doing anything for a second because Miles is doing research.
So, you go out to the Expanse, you have your gems in your hand, and
Mhm.
you walk towards the star.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I close my eyes and I feel for the vibes. And I try to just kind of take that in more or less. You just kind of like breathe in the.
In the
Breathe
same
in
way
that.
that you've done all the other...
With like all the ways where I've like felt that
Yeah.
energy. Yeah.
Okay. And then wisdom and proficiency. So +4.
That kind of costs. I don't know.
If it's kind of...
You hit,
I don't know.
you hit the other dice and stuff.
Yeah, then roll again. That's fine.
All right.
No problem.
Way better.
Considerably better.
Yeah.
So wisdom and proficiency, it's 15.
You certainly feel it flowing in you.
Okay. I want to.
There's a very real sense that it's kind of like being a sheet of paper and just having something move through you.
I've never done that, but
Or just being thin, being this thin, almost ethereal being pushed through.
I want to breathe in, and as I breathe in, like try to just sort of draw that energy into me, like try to like breathe that like that force, those vibes more or less in the way that I call like divine like magic through me. I want to try and like just bring that through me, basically on a.
Go ahead and make me.
And I want to be breathing like pretty mantrically at this point.
Spell attack.
Spell attack. Okay.
I'm using it for the purposes of this. It's not actually an attack. It's just that you use the spell attack modifier.
I'm trying to do it the way that I expel attacks, basically.
Yeah.
Expel spells.
Expel spells.
Expels.
That's my point. Is that it's like I can't say DC.
All right, not bad.
I would say your spell
bad.
attack.
It's a 23.
Hey!
Okay.
That's awesome.
You're holding the gems in your hand.
Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like make my body a conduit and like breathe it in and like then breathe it out through into the
I see.
gems. Maybe focusing on just one gem at a time.
Sure, you can totally
Just
do.
like
Would you
that.
rather do multiple or just one?
Just one for now. I'm just trying to like
Totally cool.
see if I can get this to work. Yeah.
As it passes through you, you're able to feel it and kind of put it through your diaphragm. And you do, again, like as if expending a spell. You're able to, you could feel it washing out. You see the gem where it's dulled, just because of the light. You see it kind of fill the gem with a light.
We're getting into some Aragon bullshit now. All right.
Like you do see it. You see the gemstone itself just kind of light up a little bit, and it keeps that.
Do I feel? Is it having?
It feels like the energy you had within your body.
Okay. I want to try to pump a little more in, and try to just kind of like.
Sure. Go ahead and give me another initial. Because you expended all the energy that you had, so I need an additional check with your wisdom proficiency.
Okay.
To hold it in. And
That's the
connect
natural
to
one.
Yeah, after the first, it sort of feels like.
There we go.
That
It-
sound
it
makes
cer-
me
it-
angrier
it-
every
it
time I
Doesn't
play it.
that doesn't ruin the mood at all.
It doesn't.
It feels as though it there's something about you were kind of so focused on it working, you're not able to get yourself back into the place.
I got too
of,
like excited and distracted.
yeah, it's hard to get yourself back into the place of like accepting the emptiness, and you're having a hard time focusing. So if you want to do it again, it'll be a disadvantage.
Okay, one more try, just to like try and
Yeah.
calm myself and like
Go ahead and
go at it again.
yeah, disadvantage, but go for it.
So my worst came out to a 12.
Okay. You just barely feel it.
Okay.
You're just barely able to get there. This time. But it takes much longer for it to accumulate.
Okay.
It takes a lot longer. At least 15 minutes just to get to the same place as before. And that's continuing to calm yourself down, continuing to focus, and continuing to just open up. It eventually gets there, and you're able to try to do what you're doing again. The gem has held that glow, by the way.
So it's not losing charge over time.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna breathe it back into the same one and just try to pump it up a little
Go
more.
ahead and give me a spell attack.
What's my spell attack? Is it 5 or 6?
I believe it's 5.
It's 6.
Oh, 6.
Hey.
Hell yeah, levels.
How
That's
is
a 20.
it 6?
It's a 25 then. Well, charisma's my modifier instead of wisdom.
That's what
So,
it is. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I always mess that up.
Because you think it would be wisdom, but like charisma's my spell. It's not,
Yeah,
like wisdom's
yeah.
not my main stat.
Right.
Charisma, well, strength is, but then charisma.
Yeah.
You're able to, as soon as you feel it, like, get to that same level again, you say, okay. And it, same motion, same everything, that was almost mechanical. It breathes into the gemstone, and it starts to glow much brighter.
Can I try one more time?
Okay?
Do I have it in me?
You're getting a little tired. Not exhausted, but you're certainly starting to feel the wear of this energy.
Okay, one more try.
Every time that because every time it fills you to the point where you can breathe into this thing, you certainly haven't been doing it as long as Nameless was, so you're not feeling like full vibration, but you are feeling, as soon as it leaves you, it's almost as if your entire body has just like run 5 minutes, kind of a thing. Like every muscle feels like it's been worked.
Okay.
And so you're doing this multiple times, and so it's this thing of like in the one time you tried and failed, it still felt like it pulsed through you. So it's like it's still taking energy to do this.
I'm trying to control the wild beast, basically.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and make me another. This time not a disadvantage because
I'm back in the routine now.
yeah. So again,
Okay.
wisdom, proficiency.
Hey! It's a 16.
All right. This time you're able to kind of keep your composure You know you were able to do it, so it worked in. Spell attack.
Spell attack, let's go.
Mm.
22. I'm getting spell attacks are going really well, at least.
Okay. As you blow into the gemstone, go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw.
Mm.
Oh, did I overload it?
Did it explode?
16.
Okay.
Oh, wait. And I get to add my shield's AC. So actually, 18. Or no.
You're not wearing your shield at the moment. Your shield has to be used and wielded
Oh, okay.
in the moment to be able to use it as part of your thing.
Okay.
Because you're holding the gem, you're holding it, right? Like, it's the activity. But you do still get your aura. You counted for that, right?
Yeah, I added the +3. Yeah.
So 16.
Okay, it's 16.
Alright.
16 straight.
As you're blowing into it, you see like a 2 seconds into the process, you see and like the whole gem cracks, and you're able to like drop it as it shatters into 1,000 pieces, and like you're able to shield your eyes and everything, and so it doesn't like actually hurt you.
Okay.
Hmm.
Alright, I head back out to the courtyard then.
As you enter, everybody's still there?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you guys would like to discuss, or anything the three of you need to say to each other? Anything?
This is fucking wizard shit. I have nothing for this.
I would like to touch the
The house is
ember
still
again.
moving,
Actually, I'm gonna
too,
get-
by the way. Like, it's still moving at a good pace, and so you guys are still...
I'm gonna gather some pieces.
I
for it.
personally would like to touch the ember
Okay.
again. However, if we need to look
It's
for other
it's
things,
like
it's not very...
it's a lot. It's
Yeah,
like you can
no,
gather
you
about
like to touch the
3/4 of
ember
it before
again?
you like. just like,
Absolutely. The person at the Psychic's tarot card place told me that we needed to look at this, or at least I did, in a different direction. So maybe if I touch the ember, something will become more clear as to how we can defeat Kalenth.
Honestly, like, I think going and, touching the ember or, like, being around the ember, I think there's only positive things that can come from this. I'm also, like, really curious about it. Like, so, like, when you touched it, there was, like, a moment where you saw things, where it talked to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it would like to talk to me, or is that not an okay thing? Because I know you do spells, you do spells, you do spells, you do spells. I do no spells, so...
I mean, I don't really do
She doesn't
spells.
she doesn't do spells.
True, well, I mean, like, Radiant Sunbolt,
Yeah, but that's just a...
a thing that
I
you do.
learned that at the monastery. That's not really a
It's
spell,
desert
spell.
magic.
spell
It's
thing.
desert magic.
Yeah.
It's like a gun. No.
It's like a gun.
It's like the desert's
It's a
gun.
full gun.
Guns, the desert's
It's like
magic.
what's called a gun.
I think they call it a weapon.
A weapon? A shooty weapon?
Yeah. But I don't
Shooty
know.
boomstick.
Shooty
It kind of. I mean, the first thing I saw was a little concerning, but maybe this next time, it'll help us figure out how to maybe not go to the Tower of Blight completely ignorant.
Yeah. Completely unarmed.
Yeah.
And not ready for anything that is definitely going to face us there.
Yeah.
I have a good way in. I have a reliable way in. So I think us going down to talk to the Ember or poke the Lodestone is not a bad idea at all.
I just feel like with the guard increase, they're probably going to have guards down there.
Worst case scenario, we can try barging into Daphne's place and getting her to write a sort of pass to get through.
Or we could just be. I mean, I know this might be a bias of mine. I'm just saying we could be very sneaky.
I'm not very good at sneaky.
Fair enough.
Have
Well,
you
you-
seen Philip?
I'm proficient in it. I'm just not good at
Mm,
it.
this is true.
I mean, I can also cast Pass Without a Trace.
Sure.
Fair
There we
enough.
go. Yeah.
At this, Philip, you return.
Are the shards still glowing?
No.
Okay.
What did we find?
I have good news and I have bad news.
Alright.
Actually, good news and slightly less good news, I guess. So the good news is, we can put magic into these gems.
Interesting.
The less good news is that it can only take so much of it. And I show them like the shards.
Wow.
This one exploded after I put a little too much into it. However, we can take that nameless. You're probably going to be better at this than I am. The way that you put that energy into that tree, we can put it into the crystals. I don't know if that makes it work the same way as the lodestones, but it holds that magic.
But what does it do?
I might be the wrong person to ask about it, but I imagine it has to have something to do with the process. My concern is that what I was putting into it was just raw magic. I don't know how to shape it or tell it what to do. And lodestones, at least the ones the ones that you've got, the ones that are controlled, they have a thing that they do. They're an actual kind of spell. I was just putting in raw magic. I'm thinking maybe if we put the magic in, we can find somebody who can tell that magic what to do.
Maybe like our friendly neighborhood drow? Nerith?
Nerith?
Mm-hmm.
Liam.
No, not Liam. He's not a drow.
In the 2 days that you spent
No, God.
studying, and the stuff that you know about magic items in general, and just like in the creation and fabrication of stuff, what Philip is saying has some weight, but already you know for a fact that what he's doing is not the same thing as a lodestone.
No, it sounds more to me like you
can say it to him. All I can tell you is that it's
Yeah.
not from your studies. It is not the same thing as a lodestone.
Yeah, I don't know that this is going to be a way to try and, I guess, manufacture a lodestone, which might not turn out to be possible, which is fine. It does seem like a good way to just harness magic. There's not a lot of electricity around, is there?
None, some would say.
Not entirely.
Basically take it like a bit of store like a bit of raw energy. I don't know what we could do with that, but there's potentially a way to find something to do with that. Even if it was something as simple as we could put energy into these crystals and keep them here, so it makes as like a reserve of power for the house that we could transfer into the tree easier. Or it could even work powering some types of magical items. I'm not sure. I'd have to experiment with it, but I don't think it's going to be making a lodestone.
Either way, it seems like there's nothing to lose by trying to, put some magic into these, right?
No, it's interesting. I'm curious about experimenting with it.
I'm a little wiped out from it now. It's not exactly relaxing.
Right.
But I could try more later.
Yeah,
Nameless,
we can.
if you wanted to try later as well.
We can come back to that.
Yeah.
It sounded like we were all fairly agreeable at making a stop to Sestead and seeing if we can go check out the Ember and see if we can find any other lodestones in the area around it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We might need a rest.
Well,
it's been a long day for
I
us.
suppose. Yeah, sorry.
well, Nameless
Around
the same
mentioned
time.
she wanted to
I
go
know,
to the
but I
forest.
haven't
Sometimes
So-
we
Right.
traveled for 9 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm just saying that like you're on the same schedule, so I'm not gonna like.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that we can keep going back. I feel like what you're saying. I feel like what you're saying with not looking at things the same way. Maybe we shouldn't go back to the same places. Just a thought.
It's fair.
We have a door that's going to take us to a lot of places.
My main thought is it's the only real lead we have. Like I in terms of like looking at it from another angle, is that it could be anywhere literally. So the small leads we do have are really the only thing I see we have to work on.
Well, we haven't really asked anybody if they know of any other places.
Every time we've asked someone about where they get lodestones, they just vaguely say blah blah university, blah blah.
Have we ever gone to university?
No.
No, but if
Just gonna throw
If
it
we're
out
trying
there.
to find our own lodestones, we might ask Yvonne if she knows of any other places that have a high concentration of magical energy, like Sis did.
I've asked her about the ley lines specifically, and says they're specifically very hard to map out. But like in terms of things like Sisted, we could ask about that. I'm not sure.
Do you think that maybe we could ask the Expanse where the ley lines are?
I've never talked to the Expanse.
The Expanse talks back?
I don't know.
I did feel some of that energy that's similar to the lodestones when you came out. It's probably connected.
It's just an idea.
I don't hate it.
I don't either. If you guys want
I don't
to,
hate most things.
do we want to divide and conquer? Because like if you want to talk to the Expanse about the lodestones, it means that Lolly could figure out the lodestone under Sisted's situation. If you want to come with us, if you want to come I don't know if you're more useful talking to the Expanse.
Well, I'll go wherever you feel I'm needed.
Mm.
If you're planning to sneak around, I probably shouldn't be there.
That's true. You're kind of clunky.
I'll accept that.
I like you a lot, but
It's a
you will
regular
make a lot
clunk
of
over
noise.
there. Great egg clunk.
Because that's the thing. It's like I think I agree with you. It's that big old lodestone is probably the best lead we have, because I remember when we talked to Nereth about getting some lodestones, and he was like, blah blah university, and I was like, maybe I'll steal one, and he was like, you can't, and like,
Wait.
damn it.
Never mind.
Oh no.
Um,
I'm legit curious. I'm really mad. Fuck.
there is also the underneath area of the door.
The underneath?
Mm-hmm.
What's the underneath?
It's
Glad you asked. It's a dark cave. It smells really bad in there. I distinctly remember that.
Bad like death or bad like live creature?
That isn't where they came in, is it? They found the house, right? They didn't find a door to the house.
We found a door to the house that only got us in because Philip had to pee.
Oh, bless. It room of requirement did?
Literally, we couldn't get in. He's like, I really need to go to the bathroom. And
I
then
tried to
we
jump up
opened
onto the house.
door.
It didn't work. I had to be thrown onto the house.
Room of requirement.
Yeah, we're just
Houses
out here stealing
requirement.
stuff from everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's 3 things we haven't explored for the store, basically.
Okay.
We've got the
I mean-
evergreen, which actually is the forest that she's seen, but we haven't really done anything with it.
Right.
There's the underneath, and then there's the deep. The deep is
Water.
a lot of water.
Mm.
The
It's like a
underneath-
grotto.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit
The under-
difficult.
A grotto is trees.
No, a
No,
grotto
grotto
is
Grotto
Have you
is-
ever watched
a
Girl
small
Next Door?
cave.
the
Glade,
Big
a
Boys?
glade is trees. Grotto is
They have a grotto.
Rocks.
yeah.
The only reason I know.
Have you
Grotto
ever
is
watched The
water
Little
and rocks.
Mermaid?
No, but in,
No.
at the Playboy Mansion, they have the grotto.
That's a very
I've never
fun
been.
I don't want to go
example.
to the grotto.
was
That's
not-
that's,
Playboy
that's kind
Mansion.
of a funny example, but
That was
okay.
never one of our family vacations.
I never saw that
Oddly
in
enough.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
I mean, we can check those out
That's
as
how
well.
I know
but
our
I was
grotto
just
is-
doing.
is
I
from
was
Kingdom
just
Hearts.
suggesting
That's what I'm
something
saying.
that I
Me
already
too.
knew.
Oh
where
yeah.
it
Okay.
was
Yeah.
at.
I'm just
So,
saying.
grotto checks
You
out.
said that the
It
lady
is
told
called
you
an
to look at
underwater grotto, though, so it's
differently.
like
But
that
she
one
also told you to
specifically
go back to the
is.
forest, and you've been there multiple times.
I
so-
haven't been since then.
Since
Right,
the
but I'm
reading.
saying it's somewhere you've been. So maybe we also have to go somewhere we've been, but look at it in a different way.
That's what I think.
But I'm happy to try one of the other places in the door. That was just a suggestion.
The underground
No, I'm saying we didn't really
actually
been
is
all the
curious to me.
locations.
I was curious if there had been
There's
any
never.
I just opened the
underground
door.
location.
I
I
didn't go
didn't
in.
remember.
We've said
Wait, what's? I'm sorry. There's like 3 things being said, and I'm just trying to hear it all.
All I said
Oh, no,
was
we were
Jesus.
just talking
was like,
about whether we went in through all the
Jesus.
things or not.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Is it like
Sorry.
he was talking in character, you guys were just talking?
Talking about.
Yeah.
if we
And
had-
I'm not
Yeah.
mad. I'm just like, oh, I didn't know if I needed to listen to it. What were you saying, Miles?
The underground. What is it called?
The underneath. Yeah.
The underneath is actually something that I couldn't. Miles couldn't. Liam probably could. Remember what the other doors were, and I was curious if there was one that was underground already.
I got 'em all written
Hearing
down.
that is something I definitely want to check out.
The 6 doors you have is a neutral door, which leads you to the outside of the mansion, to the actual location of where it's at. You have the city, which is Sested, is what you guys have found out. Then there's also the underneath, which is a sort of cave-like entrance. Or, when you exit the door, it's like this cave-like room. Then there is the
Deep.
the deep, which is this like grotto situation. So it leads out into a stepping stone that is surrounded by water and cave above it.
The city.
And then the expanse.
I said the city, and then there's
And
the
the
expanse, and then there's also
Evergreen.
the evergreen, which is the forest. You don't know what forest. You don't know what cave you're in. You don't know what grotto you're in. You don't know any of that stuff, but you do know at least that those are the things that they lead to.
So we have a forest temple, a water temple, and an earth temple. Basically.
I mean, I wouldn't be
Can't wait to get to
against
the fire
exploring,
temple.
especially if we're looking for stuff that normally lives underground, and we have a.
It's true. We haven't spent much time in the underneath.
Do you want to go spelunking real quick?
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
You guys did get climbing gear, right? That was what you
We
guys
did.
Yeah, we
yes.
got
Yeah.
a shit
Got a
ton
bunch
of
of
That's
climbing.
how I remember. Yeah.
So, the reason that lodestones are different from what I was doing with the crystal was that the lodestones were specific kinds of magic, right?
For the most part, there isn't a huge amount known about how they're made, but as opposed to like there being a crystal in the earth and then say a ley line comes there and it charges that crystal, it seems to be like that magic in the area creates the crystal to grow.
So, that expanse where we're just pulling neutral, unprocessed magic, that has no defined role, and that's the
Right.
magical energy sort of thing. If I pulled the energy from a lodestone, would that be different?
I don't know. I've even heard any research about people pulling magic from lodestones. Lodestones expend their magic, but I think the main difference here, besides it having a distinct purpose, is that like a lodestone has, let's say, a number of charges, right? Which depletes the magic. The lodestone will regenerate its own power. I would guess based on how you filled those crystals, because they are not charged. If I could use magic in those crystals to cast a spell, in order to make it work again, we would need to specifically bring it to the expanse and charge it again.
But what I'm asking is, I took magical energy and put it into that gem, which could probably just make it a source of magical energy, is what I'm understanding.
I think it's more just a container for it, not a source.
So, if I go to one of these large lodestones, like the Ember, and I take energy specifically from that, would that be different, do you think?
If it's possible, I think the crystal you put it in would still only act as a container. It would be, if I could craft an item around, say you take a crystal and put ember energy into it, and I made an ember glove, I think in order to charge it, we would have to bring it back to the ember specifically and fill it with that energy, as opposed to a proper homegrown lodestone would fill itself.
So what you're saying is, we should try it.
Sure.
Okay. I'm just gonna hold on to these.
Yeah.
This is a good idea. I mean,
Was any of that right? I don't know. I'm theorizing.
You know what's
It's what
you know
Liam
what's
thinks is right.
you know what's the best part of it?
What?
I can't say yes or no.
I mean, you can tell
Are these
Miles.
things that you've thought of?
I can't say yes or no in the realm of like, I should be a good DM, but I don't care. I'm so excited that you guys are talking about this stuff. Yeah, you're exactly right. Like Liam's theory of this is based on all of his research. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that like
It's
you
arrogant,
are
baby.
still not sure because a lot of the research you're doing is approximations or theories of things, but that's where we learn real science, right? Like that's where we make real progress, is the idea of like, well, if this is true, then this thing has to be true.
Yeah.
So that's the knowledge you're working off of, and at this moment, you're pretty sure that's the logical explanation, is that it's like, it's not so much that it's like if you're able, because you don't know if you're able to pull energy from it. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You are correct in that regard of like, if you can pull from it, you should be. That's how these gems should work.
Okay.
That's how I can say yes to that answer, is that it's like, it's correct in what you know.
Always think of a way to break the economy.
God damn it.
You could make like fool's gold magic items this way. Like take magic item from the Ember, make a magical item, be like, hey, it works. When it runs out of power, it's done. Liam has not suggested this. Miles has thought of this. You could be the ultimate magical snake oil
evil
salesman.
campaign.
I feel like the logical conclusion to this is taking the other 7 gemstones and charging them all and making a belt that has all of them on it, so you can just pull like a ton of extra magic reserves from it if you need to, and just
you're on some Aragon shit.
Just copying Aragon.
Yeah,
just copying Aragon. Yeah.
So are we going to the underneath first, or are we going to Sisted first?
Let's try the underneath.
Why not?
It's
We're
new.
here.
It's exciting. And if someone were watching our adventures, we'd owe them that at this point, I would say.
I also, yes.
To be fair,
you
we
sat
haven't
through
spent that
all
much
our
time in
nerd shit.
Sisted in the show. We spent a lot of time in Sisted before we started.
We had
shooting
we
this.
did have a
We-
2-part
all-
festival episode.
Yeah.
Or
Two-part
two
festival
episodes
But that's-
of Sisted, of full
That's fair.
Sisted.
Let's go.
You guys do whatever you want. I am here to facilitate.
What I want is to go to Reykjavik, but that's not going to happen.
We don't know
in
that.
a
The
second.
underneath might be in Reykjavik.
What
One
are
of the
the
main
odds?
reasons I
What
want
are
to
the odds?
So I start walking
Literally.
downstairs.
I follow.
But you're at the courtyard, so you don't
Alright,
walk
so I
downstairs.
walk
you
around the
walk through
corner. I find the dial closest to me.
I'm following.
Apparently the odds are 30% that it's Reykjavik.
So says the percentile dice.
So
and
says the percentile die, which
I'm
honestly is the most impartial DM.
It truly is. I should just roll everything in percentile die.
Anytime we ask you anything about the world, it's like, well, let's find out.
Sure.
Well, you're all made of lodestone.
I'm just a messenger.
We are all lodestone stuff.
Good.
The lodestones. The
Lodestone.
Lodestones are the friends we made
Shrek
along
is
the
a
way.
canonical character in this universe.
Yeah. Is Shrek
And
daddy? He is. He's a 90% chance.
30%.
Shrek daddy.
30% that he's, 3%. 3% that he's.
3% that he's a
Survey
daddy.
says.
No, not a daddy.
I got 26, so.
I don't
quarter
want
daddy.
to play this
I don't want to play this game no more.
So
We do that.
We do it. We do the thing.
To the underneath.
Well, I got 84%, so it's definitely a desert movie.
How close are we to exhaustion? How tired are we?
if you guys were to travel at all, you guys would get exhausted. In the sense that you guys would have to be making Constitution saving throws.
So we don't know what's waiting for us underneath. Maybe we
You
should
guys are
rest
doing
for-
light
Yeah,
you guys-
activity,
you guys
like,
can rest
you guys are
up.
doing light moving around and stuff, so it's not
Yeah.
it's not actually terrible for you. But yeah, if you actually do any extra exploratory stuff, you will be tired.
These two,
Right.
or us. Or everybody.
All of you.
I do
Everybody?
have
We're
a
tired. We've
spell
been
that I
traveling all
know
day.
called
He's been-
locate
You guys
object.
only
up.
just got back to the
True.
city, so
I have a spell that locate object.
Interesting.
Huh.
What object?
do you have to know what the object is, and do you have to have an I'm just saying.
If I'm looking for a lodestone, do I not know what it is?
I'm just saying. Just reread the script of the spell to make sure that it's not.
You have to know what the object is.
Yeah, I feel like it's a thing where you can't look for a broom. You have to look for the broom.
Yeah,
I
it's less
That's
like
special.
it's less a blanket thing where it's like, oh, I want to look for a lodestone. It would be like if you
but
focused.
Can I not look for like a lodestone at like a ley line, like a lodestone energy?
No,
Oh.
it's not like that. A locate object would be like, I want to find Liam's ring.
It has to be a very specific thing.
Yeah, it's about specificity. It's like locate person. It's like
Well,
you have to know that person that you're trying to look
why
for.
don't we rest up
Mhm.
and then go explore this underneath? If the lodestones are underground, Underneath sounds like it might be underground.
Might
Also,
be.
there's dirt above it, so it might be underground.
Yeah, I
The
can.
logic here is really flawless, though, guys.
It's you're not wrong. It may be phrased incredibly stupid.
It's like,
Yeah.
you're not wrong,
It is
but I
perfect
don't
logic.
understand why you want to
It
say
is perfect logic. It's just also baby logic.
Huh. Or the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain type of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon.
Oh shit!
I
Tyler
just
got
read
blown
this.
the fuck out.
What was the list?
Or a certain type of kind, such as these things. But it says nearest object of a particular kind. So if I look
Okay.
for a lodestone,
Okay.
is that not a particular kind of
The nearest
object?
one would be Liam's.
Yeah, the problem
We
have to
can
know
leave
the
this spell. We can
scales.
leave that here for a second.
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to work with you. I'm less interested in what they're saying.
Thank you. Because that's why I was like
It's
doing
saying
my research.
object, and I'm trying not to get too granular on the idea of is a lodestone an object, because the other things that are listed in object is like jewelry, tool, things that have like been
You
It's
can
a
make an
tool.
argument that a lodestone is a tool.
It is a tool.
That's kind of what, yeah.
and that's what I mean is it's like I don't want to get that granular. I don't want to be like, oh, if you're looking for a rock,
A
you know, that's not
lodestone
an
deposit.
object. Yeah, like we're like I don't want to be that asshole. So I will say yes, but the truth is that would be the
Bless
closest
you.
object.
Oh my
Would
yeah,
be the
which if I left
or
that behind.
the other lodestone you have.
Put better down.
Yes.
The necrotic lodestone.
Yeah.
That would be the if those two are on anybody's person while you have that spell, it would be the closest
But
thing.
we could leave it presumably halfway across the world. Who knows?
What if the
That's
underneath
kind of
is
what
just
I was
under the
wondering,
house?
Oh.
No,
It's just under the
yeah,
might be.
it's one of those things
Just
where it's like
wherever the house is.
I mean, it's a
root
cave
cellar.
with
the
steps,
spell
so
itself
who
has a
knows?
range of what?
Where we keep the
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet.
Yeah,
So-
so I mean, like, I wouldn't. It's not like I would know for sure, but how did you do that? That was magical.
Yeah,
LED potatoes.
but yeah, it's like you know, it's
I was like, I could have sworn it said you just had another. I guess. Yes, there is a specific object,
Right.
but
no, you're correct because you're reading. That's why. That's
Reading
more
it-
of the reason I
reading the
say
whole
read the
word.
text, read the whole spell because I know most of a spell about
Most of the
80% of the time.
time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Most of the time. It's like I know most spells, but it's one of those things where it's like I'd much rather you know the full ability and then be able to tell me I'm wrong and then be like you can totally do that. Then it'd be like
So
no,
I
you
can
can't.
technically prepare that
Oh.
if we're napping or sleeping.
I think
But-
we could take a little happy nap.
I think we should because we don't know what we're gonna have to
Yeah.
do. When we
Do I
get
need
Yeah.
to rest as well
Sure.
or no?
Yes.
haven't slept
That's
in
what I'm
2
saying. You're
days.
on. I'm saying you're on the same.
You really are like probably exhausted, actually.
Guess I have work I want to do. All
I
right.
physically
All right.
walk Liam to his room and be like, go to bed.
We tie him
I'm
down.
gonna grab.
Every time. Oh, gross.
I'm
I
gonna.
pull out a sleepy blow dart.
Liam, falling asleep. Okay, Daddy.
I'm gonna grab the
Oh,
amazing
I
pillows.
I
from my
The
wanted
room.
to
amazing
end.
pillows from your room.
Okay,
Amazing
Daddy.
pillows.
Amazing pillows. I'm gonna grab them from my room and go over to his.
And
Like-
smother him.
And knock on the door.
What?
It smothers people in 6 minutes instead of 8.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing pillows.
That's the point of the pillow.
It's a
Just
murder
has to
pillow.
tangle in his bed.
Yes, I'm gonna go into his room. Well, I'm gonna knock first.
You hear a knock.
Hello?
I'm gonna.
The 3 ladies are over tying him.
you
Gonna open the door.
still close the door for us.
Naturally.
I'm gonna open the door to find him tied to the bed. I guess.
No.
Just kidding.
All right. Hey, I brought these amazing pillows. They really give you a good night's sleep.
I appreciate it. Honestly, I probably need the help sleeping. I haven't slept well in 2 days.
Well, these babies ought to help.
Thank you.
You know,
I thought they were
slide that over
pillows.
there. You excited about tomorrow?
Yeah. Anxious. Excited, yeah.
I'm really excited to see some new things.
Yeah.
we spent so much time helping out in Sestead that who knows what else is out there, you know?
Yeah.
Either way, I think we're onto something. You understand how this stuff works a lot better, so I'm just gonna try and find the things so that you can do the things.
I appreciate it.
And I think we'll all be good. And, yeah.
Right.
Thank you for helping with the tournament, by the way.
Of course.
Knowing that, we weren't gonna lose the saddle no matter what, made things a lot easier.
Yeah. That's fair.
But, yeah. Well, you have a good night?
You do.
Oh, I always do. Gonna start leaving.
Awkwardly start.
Yeah.
I awkwardly also want to talk to you. So.
As you leave, the door
That's
closes
the door.
and Nameless like
Oh.
like sneaks over and knocks on the door.
What is this, Grand Farah Station?
Yay!
I like it. I'm in.
Hello?
Hi, can I come in?
Of course.
Oh, hi.
Pulls out note cards. I see you're feeling
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
What were the
How
two
are you
note cards?
doing?
Just
She
different
writes
stick
big.
figure faces.
She writes
But she had to find the one that looked the most like my face.
The Mr. Yuck sticker.
Yeah.
It's just like bad.
How are you? I mean, besides the obvious.
Right. I don't know. Nameless. I've been trying not to think about it. Just, you know, focused is how I am. Tired, it turns out, is how I am. But I don't know.
I just wanted to say I'm sorry.
For what?
Well, you wouldn't have been in the tournament if I wasn't a horse. And I'm sorry that I rode you. I'm sorry that you're hurt.
It's not your fault.
It is a little bit. Maybe if I had, just, moved a little bit. But
I appreciate you agreeing to help me enter the tournament. I appreciate what seems to be a heightened sense of responsibility for your actions, but you didn't make any decisions for me that day. You did a magnificent job. We wouldn't have gotten as far as we did in the tournament without you. And You didn't make my choices. I did.
you're not mad at me?
Not at all.
Oh, well then I didn't need to apologize then.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I guess
Wow,
I
that's
guess
one of the most refreshing conversations I've ever had.
so then I guess good night.
Yeah, have a great night. Thank you. Thank you for that.
When Nameless leaves, I'm going to just open the door and be like, "Hi, Liam. I also wanted to talk." No, I'm just fucking with you. I'll see you later. I'll see you in the morning.
Throws pillow at doors and closes.
I'm
Goes,
just fucking
picks
with
it up
y'all.
again.
I'll see you in the morning. Those
I'm
pillows
in
are
my room
awesome.
being
Bye.
the best roommate ever. I'm in my room minding my own business,
Sure.
reading a fairy tale book in Draconic to the babies. Like I'm
Are
not.
they there?
Oh, they better fucking be there.
I know.
It's bedtime. They bathed already. I put
They've
them.
been napping all day.
Look,
They'll
they're
be up all night.
tired. They're tired. They had a rough day. They ate spaghetti. They don't.
That was like 3 days ago, so.
That
Yeah, but that's all they know how to make now. So
Yeah, but that shit makes you sleep.
Yeah.
When you eat nothing
They're
but
also
spaghetti.
growing babies, you know, they're growing.
they like to
Spaghetti
take
has
naps.
tryptophan in it.
How old do they get?
How
Not very
old are they?
old.
Oh my god.
How old do
Well,
they get
kobolds
until
have a
they
lifespan
stop?
of 6 weeks.
Oh.
No, then
No,
you-
no, no, no,
Oh,
no, no, no,
no.
no, no, that's not
Wait,
true.
oh yeah, I was gonna be like 11 days.
No, it's like months.
That's why I was
It's like-
asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sees
If
the
I
light
read
at the end
correctly,
of the
I think it's.
I'm just like waiting for like us to wake up
months?
one day and they're like 60 years old. So.
Open college days.
50-year-olds.
Oh
You
god.
wake
50-year-old.
you wake up tomorrow morning and it's like, hello, mother.
That's what
I'm a man now.
I feel, I feel it is time for me to go off on my own. My own way in this world.
Oh, like
Chase
that
my
bad.
torch.
all,
Making
all 7 of them, one
magnificent
after another, the
paintings.
same conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
Hello, mother.
You just see me on the floor crying. The one time she set Lolly shows emotion.
Aw, when her baby's like,
Empty
"Oh,
nest.
Oh,
empty nest."
I'll just have to adopt 7 more babies.
an empty nest, except for all of these crazy people.
These-
Like,
All the other crazy people that live in this house.
All
And the
other
animals.
Children. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all there.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna call Trulio up on
I'm
the-
reading Goodnight
on the
Moon
couch.
to them.
Okay. And
What does that sound like in
Yeah.
Draconic?
Yeah, go
He
ahead.
comes
Give
up
us- give us a
and
sample.
does his little circle and then sits down next to you.
There we go.
There's a cough in there. Somewhere.
Flanagan
Somewhere.
can't fit through the
That's
door to your bedroom, so he
And
just
you
sort of
hear
sits
moon.
out in the
And he's celestial, so he doesn't sleep, so he just stares at the fire.
For hours.
Honestly, oh wait, no, this is Flanagan. He just like stands. He actually doesn't even go upstairs. He just stands watch. He just stands at the
front door.
The front door, but, like looking at it and just
Waiting.
he like lays down. Like it's just one of those things where he's like comfy.
Yeah, he has no need to eat, sleep, or like drink. So it's just like,
He just sits
Just
there.
constantly on watch.
can you imagine being constantly awake even when the rest of the world is asleep?
Yeah, it's a hell.
You're telling me.
You know.
Insomnia.
All right, let's do it.
Ooh.
Then is there anything else that anybody needs to do in the night? All right, you go to your rooms, you go to your tower. It is still moving.
Like,
What's us to sleep?
No, the tower's like solid, like it's
Okay.
not swaying. I mean, like the house is still
I
in
take some
movement,
Dramamine.
and so you do get a bit more of a wind
A
into this
breeze?
room
Yeah.
because it's just an open tower.
I'm
But
gonna settle down in my little nest.
I fell asleep everywhere. So
night
not be conscious.
or the morning for you guys because it's still it's
Put on a little sleep mask.
yeah. Heading towards where the sun will be.
Exactly.
Your rest passes, and in 6 hours you're actually up. So you're up a little bit before everybody else.
I want to do some research into the stone that I have. I'm curious. This is probably out of game talk that I can do with you, actually.
No, let's do it right now.
Based on the size and cut of the stone, I'm curious, like what, how powerful of a spell I could.
It is a larger stone than the one that is in your ring.
All right.
And from some of the research you've done with your ring, to say it in game terms,
Yeah.
I haven't thought of anything other than that. The one in your ring is what would be considered like a tier 1
Right.
stone.
And True Sight is a what level spell?
I believe it's a 6th level spell.
Okay, so that's why it's 1 a day, because it's a high level spell in a tier 1 stone.
Yes.
So with this, what
This one is
tiers.
larger. This one's
Yes.
about like twice the size.
Okay.
And from the size and the cut, you can kind of guess at it being like a tier 2.
Okay.
Meaning you can do higher level abilities maybe more times per day.
Okay.
Part of the thing with like, how often too is the way it's faceted.
Okay.
Right? Is the way the sigils are made into the thing that it's put into. Okay.
Peek that right there. Oh god, oh god.
Take a weakness, make it a strength.
What happened?
I don't know.
I have an idea.
Let's
He's
see.
showing something special.
Yeah.
basically that effective
I'm
spell,
just
I would
trying to-
activate it when I...
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. That'd be pretty great.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome.
So I'm
I'm into it.
3 ideas I want to try, and this fits for one of the 3 very
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So.
That what you know about this stone, what you know about that type of magic, which is necrotic magic, is a lot. It's not inherently evil. It's just
No.
more about the decay of matter.
Like I have
Of
a
matter.
necrotic-
I would just say of
yeah.
matter in general.
I
It's just like-
have a necrotic spell in my that's in my
Yeah.
spell right now. I use
yeah,
false
raising
light.
the dead, kind of evil.
can have moral implications.
Certainly a little bit more evil.
But like my
Tiny
false
amount.
life spell doesn't have moral implications. It's
No.
just a means to an end.
No, exactly. It's so
This
that's
certainly
the
could
point.
be used for evil or not.
Yeah.
This is the dagger.
This is the thing of I want
Depends
to
on the
impose
hand.
I want to impose something on someone else that is a debilitation.
Okay.
That's more of what necrotic is it's debuffing. That's how I've always seen it anyway. Is that it's like it's not inherently evil.
I
It's just
can't wait for my necrotic spells.
you can choose necrotic spells.
No, there's some that I get like automatically with the Undertale combat that's coming.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I get specifically I can't remember the name, but the healing spell where I take a bunch of damage and then heal twice as much to somebody.
Oh,
It's like that
Ooh,
blood
right.
person spell.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna if, at some point I'd love
You're just
to
gonna
know,
do a
like,
little bit
what
more
the-
research and
Yeah, I'd love to know like how much money and resources I would need to start crafting something like that.
Okay, I will let you know.
Cool.
Because with 2 hours of research and maybe potentially talking to Yvonne a little bit, you get that information. You get kind of like a basis of what you would have to put into materials. The rest happens. You are able to wake up feeling refreshed, and yeah, don't worry, you'll have a second.
Okay.
You'll have a second. And that is where we'll call this episode. That's where we're going to call this week's episode. And thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Is there, again, I just want, as a closing statement, I just want to make sure that there's anything else that we need to say or anything, or...
Can I plug some stuff?
I
haven't
would
plugged
most,
things.
I would appreciate
Do it.
On the one hand, me and my brother do a podcast mostly as an excuse to talk once a week because I don't talk to my brother enough. Check out the Root of All Podcasts. I know you're all thinking there's too many podcasts. Which ones do I listen to? We'll help you out there. We review new podcasts each week. And the other thing I do is actually, if you're like, man, I love watching the Natural Ones on Wednesdays, but what do I do earlier in the evening? Most Wednesdays from 5 to 6, I'm streaming VR on you can find me on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, just looking up Twisted Reality AR VR, or we're going to start streaming from, or have the stream on the Escape Virtuality Facebook as well. So if you